Chapter 1557. Yang Feng contemplated for a moment, and then said decisively, "All right." Yang Feng took the risk of entering the Four Monarchs battlefield in order to get an opportunity to advance to the Eternal King realm. Yang Feng has already devoured all the origin essence of the Dark Earth Monarch, but it only increased his foundation a little. If he wants to break through and advance to the Eternal Monarch rank, he still needs to accumulate more. "Please follow me." Demon Lord Zin smiled faintly, then turned into a beam of light and flew into the void. Yang Feng's figure shook slightly, and he followed behind the purple origin Demon Lord. After passing through a battlefield full of strange and distorted phenomena, the purple origin Lord's projection turned into a stream of light and entered the purple origin Lord's true body. That's the Lord of Primordial Darkness. Once he completely refines the withered world, the two of us together may not be his match. The purple origin demon Lord nodded to Yang Feng and pointed into the distance, a dignified look in his eyes. Yang Feng looked in the direction pointed by the purple origin demon Lord and saw a terrifying monster with a centipede head, dragon wings, and scorpion tail entrenched in a world full of death and withering aura. The monster opened its abdomen, revealing countless ferocious mouth parts as it chewed on the world in a frenzy. Every time those strange mouth parts wriggled, the world filled with deathly stillness and withering aura would shrink a little. Wisps of invincible Holy Lord rank breath diffused from the centipede transcended, allowing Yang Feng to determine at a glance that he is the legendary Primordial Darkness Lord. The Lord of Primordial Darkness was also an old invincible Holy Lord. He was born 5 billion years earlier than the purple origin demon Lord. After going through several War of Kings, he had devoured 5 invincible sacred Lord-level powerhouses. Although the Lord of Primordial Darkness rarely made a move in the past 100 million years, he was still one of the most terrifying invincible divine lords. Traces of withering and distorted Eternal King energy waves emanated from the Lord of Darkness body and swept in all directions. The purple origin demon master said unhurriedly, "Yang Feng, do it. As long as we kill him, the withered world and the withered king's inheritance will be equally divided between the two of us. How about we fight for the godly Tooth King's inheritance with our own abilities?" "You are Yang Feng? I heard you devoured the entire Dark Earth world. Truly amazing. How about we join forces to kill Demon Lord Violet Origin? As long as you join forces with me to kill Demon Lord Zun, I will let you devour everything he has. If the two of us work together, we will definitely be able to become eternal kings in the future." The Primordial Darkness Lord opened his eyes, and wicked light radiated from his eyes. His body twisted and turned into a beautiful woman with long black hair, a sexy and fiery figure, and he winked at Yang Feng. The human transformation technique was nothing to those evil devils. The Lord of Primordial Darkness had mastered the most top-notch human transformation technique. Once the transformation was successful, she would become a real woman from the inside out. Unless an Eternal King-level powerhouse made a move, no one would be able to detect his true form. An enigmatic glint streaked past Yang Feng's eyes, and he uttered with a faint smile, "I am very interested in the secret methods of the Monarch of Extinction and the Monarch of Wither. I'll join forces with whoever gives me the Eternal King's inheritance first." The Lord of Primordial Darkness hesitated for a moment and fell into deep thought. "This is the legacy of the King of Annihilation." Demon Lord Din pointed with a finger, and a purple crystal flew towards Yang Feng. Yang Feng crushed the purple crystal, and the secret method inheritance of the King of Annihilation entered his sea of knowledge and was transmitted to Zero's database. The secret method of every Eternal King is the core of their knowledge and path. Even if Yang Feng doesn't cultivate their secret methods, he can study them and gain great benefits. Yang Feng go. A cold ray flashed in Demon Lord Zun's eyes, and he spread the fingers of a hand, and a destruction spear containing the power to destroy everything appeared in his hand and barreled towards the primordial darkness lord. The pretty face of the primal darkness lord flickered, and her transformed body collapsed and disappeared. She reappeared in a sphere and turned into a monster the size of a world. She opened her mouth and sprayed a stream of black withering gas that swept towards the destruction spear. The black withering gas and the power of annihilation intertwined, and the destruction spear withered and collapsed. The black withering chi continued to spread, sweeping towards Violet Origin Devil Lord. Yangfeng, why aren't you going to attack? Demon Lord Jin barked, retreated briskly, spread the fingers of a hand, and countless runes appeared, and a dense swarm of destruction spears barreled towards the black withering gas. The power of annihilation and the power of withering surged in the void, and then the void collapsed, and holes appeared in the void and healed. A series of strange distortions appeared in the void. Then they withered, shattered, and disappeared. Yangfeng smiled indifferently and spread the fingers of a hand. Black light flashed, and a pitch-black dark earth bow appeared. Yangfeng plucked the bowstring of the dark earth bow, and a dark arrow tore through the sky and turned into a black meteor, shooting towards the Lord of Primordial Darkness. Dark Earth Arrow, Gravity Arrow. Not daring to underestimate it, the Lord of Primordial Darkness turned his head. Countless runes flickered on his body, and he belched a black beam containing the breath of the eternal monarch that slammed into the dark arrow. When the black beam slammed into the dark arrow withered and collapsed, and the wither pillar covered the sky and barreled towards Yangfeng. Yangfeng's eyes flickered, and he retreated briskly. The dark earth bow in his hand radiated gloomy light and formed layers upon layers of barriers. Countless stars appeared in the strange barrier, filled with a strange and distorted power. When the wither pillar slammed into the layers upon layers of barriers, it destroyed the gravity star barriers one after another. Suddenly, a strange world full of annihilation force emerged, and yellow light swept towards Yangfeng. Demon Lord Ziyuan, you sneak-attacked me. Why? Incredulity flashed in Yangfeng's eyes, and he screamed. Demon Lord Ziyuan said with a ferocious smile, Yangfeng, your growth rate is too fast. Besides, you're proficient in the essence of Devour. You can't be allowed to live. Otherwise, we'll only become resources for your evolution. In that case, let's die together. There was a flash of frigid killing intent in Yangfeng's eyes. Countless mysterious runes appeared on his body, trembled slightly, and turned into a beam of light of eternity that slammed into the shattered world. When the beam of eternal light collided with the distorted world of destruction, it blasted a terrifying hole in the world of destruction. After the shattered world was blasted through, the light of eternity that Yangfeng has transformed into disappeared. How can Yangfeng, who unified the dark earth world, only have this much strength? Demon Lorden walked out of the void, frowned slightly, spread the fingers of a hand, and the shattered world entered his hand. Demon Lord Ziyuan's heart stirred, and he had a guess. That's right, the dark earth world just self-destructed. Although Yangfeng is strong, but the dark earth world's spontaneous counterattack isn't that simple. Besides, the power of his final blow was indeed enough to seriously injure me. All of a sudden, a black beam containing the power of Wither shot out from below, tore through the sky, and barreled towards Demon Lord Zin. Primordial Darkness Lord, you can't hold back anymore? Demon Lord Ziyuan smiled indifferently. Rays of purple demonic light appeared, forming a strange demonic barrier with countless strange human heads embedded in it. When the withering light slammed into the strange demonic boundary, the countless heads shrieked miserably before turning into ashes and disappearing. Demon Lord Ziyuan, you can't hold back anymore, right? Join forces with me to deal with Yangfeng. The next step is to kill me. I just struck first to gain the upper hand. A fierce ray flashed in the primordial darkness Lord's eyes, and he fired beams of wither barreling towards Demon Lord Z. That's right. Primordial Darkness Lord, now is the most critical time for you. Once you fully refine the Wither Monarch's power, I won't be your opponent. But if I want to kill you, then even I will be seriously injured. Before that, we must get rid of Yangfeng. Otherwise, wouldn't we be too stupid to let him reap the benefits? Devil Lord Xian grinned viciously. With a flash of purple light, he transformed into a terrifying giant bird that was 100,000 miles long, with 99 heads, 100 pairs of wings, 99 tails, and a body that was covered in a layer of purple. Demon Lord Ziyuan's true body is a purple origin heaven-swallowing bird. This extraordinary life form lives by devouring the sun, the moon, and stars. Once it reaches adulthood, it will possess eternal rank strength. Purple origin heaven-swallowing birds are few in number in the eternal world, less than 10. Demon Lord Ziyuan is one of them. Demon Lord Ziyuan is just a hybrid descendant who obtained some of his blood essence. As soon as the purple origin fiend lord revealed his true form, his aura increased by several times, and his heads opened their mouths and shot out beams of purple demonic light that slammed into the beams of withering light and blasted them apart. Black withering light and purple demonic light. These two terrifying beams of light bombarded the void, tearing it apart. The withering light slammed into the purple origin demon lord's body. Wherever the withering light passed, the purple origin demon lord's body immediately exploded. His flesh and blood withered as he lost all signs of life. When the purple beams slammed into the primordial darkness lord, his fleshly body began to rot and dissolve, emitting a foul stench. Chapter 1558. 10 Days and 10 Nights. The purple origin demon lord and the primordial darkness lord had been fighting for 10 days, and both sides were riddled with injuries, and their auras were much weaker. The primordial darkness lord's gaze was cold as he spoke slowly. Purple origin demon lord, our strength is on par. If we continue to fight, both sides will suffer, and it will only benefit others. Leave. As long as you can refine the source energy of the King of God Teeth, your strength will be above mine. Why bother with me? Primordial Darkness Lord, do you think I don't know? The King of God Teeth was defeated by the Withered King, and his source energy was swallowed by the Withered King. If I wait for you to refine the source energy of the Withered King, I will not be able to escape. I will die without a burial place. Right now, you are at a critical juncture in refining the Withered King, and you can't move. This is the best opportunity for me to kill you, and the only opportunity, so please die. The purple origin demon lord's eyes flashed fiercely, and he suddenly opened his mouth and spat out a broken world. Distorted light appeared in the broken world, and in an instant, the broken world erupted with the terrifying aura of an eternal monarch treasure, turning into a huge spear of destruction that stabbed towards the primordial darkness lord. Purple origin demon lord. You're crazy. That's the source energy of the broken world. You want to use it to kill me. There was a look of fear in the primordial darkness lord's eyes, and his will filled with fear and anger surged in the sky. His body trembled slightly, and a pitch-black tortoise shell appeared and hovered in the void. The pitch-black tortoise shell was called the Black Tortoise Holy Tortoise Shell, and was an eternal monarch treasure. It was a treasure left behind by the only eternal monarch of the Black Tortoise clan, and was the strongest defensive secret treasure in the hands of the primordial darkness lord. When the spear of destruction stabbed into the tortoise shell, it emitted traces of eternal monarch rank fluctuations, and the Black Tortoise Holy Tortoise Shell began to crumble inch by inch. Although the Black Tortoise Sacred Tortoise Shell was an eternal monarch treasure, the Lord of Darkness was not its first owner. Furthermore, he was not an eternal monarch. This eternal monarch treasure could not unleash even a 10th or 20% of its power. Naturally, it could not withstand the spear of annihilation formed from the destruction of the entire world. As long as I can kill you, after refining the withered world and the divine tooth world, I can naturally transform again. If you don't die, the one who dies will be me. So die. Violet Origin Devil Lord laughed savagely as half of his 99 heads exploded. He burned his essence of eternity and poured it into the spear of annihilation. The annihilation spear erupted with fearsome annihilation force, shattered the black tortoise shell, and stabbed into the Origin Lord. No, the Dark Origin Lord, which was as large as a world, was pierced by the spear of annihilation and immediately let out a series of shrill screams. His entire body began to crumble inch by inch and turned into dust. Bursts of gloomy light flashed, and the collapsed body of the Darkness Lord began to regenerate inch by inch. After all, the Primordial Darkness Lord was an invincible Holy Lord-level monster that was infinitely close to becoming an eternal king. There was no way the Purple Origin Demon Lord could kill him in one hit. Primordial Darkness Lord, do you think I will give you a chance to regenerate? The Purple Origin Demon Lord smiled ferociously. He flapped his wings and turned into a beam of purple light. In an instant, he crossed thousands of miles and appeared in front of the Dark Origin Lord. He extended his claws and fangs and attacked the Dark Origin Lord. For behemoths as large as a world like the Purple Origin Demon Lord, their most powerful attack, apart from the essence of burning their essence of eternity, is their most fearsome physical attack. Their claws, fangs, and tails contain terrifying poison and all kinds of unimaginable power. If an ordinary Holy Lord-level powerhouse is hit by a claw, they will either die or be seriously injured. The Primordial Darkness Lord resisted frantically and roared angrily, but his body was constantly torn apart by the Purple Origin Demon Lord, and he became weaker and weaker. Purple Origin Demon Lord, you are so ruthless. You actually chose to kill me while I was fusing with the withered world. You want to kill me and not give me a way out. Since you want to kill me, then let's die together. The Primordial Darkness Lord's eyes flashed ferociously, and he roared furiously. His body collapsed, and he turned into a dark beam of eternal light barreling towards the Purple Origin Demon Lord. When the dark beam of eternal light slammed into the Purple Origin Demon Lord, one by one, his heads exploded. When only 19 heads remained did the beam of eternal light collapse. As expected of the Primordial Darkness Lord, to be able to injure me so seriously with this blow. But Primordial Darkness Lord, you are dead after all. After I refine the withered world and the divine Fong world, I will take over your forces. In 10,000 years, I will be able to restore my full strength and even go further. You and Yangfeng have already died. The Four Monarchs battlefield is now mine. When the Purple Origin Demon Lord saw the Primordial Darkness Lord collapse, blood gushed out of his body and dripped into the sky. He laughed loudly. He was filled with joy to be able to kill the Primordial Darkness Lord in this battle. Although the Purple Origin Demon Lord was seriously injured, but eternal sovereigns have a long lifespan. 10,000 years is just a blink of an eye for them. As long as they can advance to the Eternal Monarch realm by a fraction, even if they have to sleep for 100 million years, there are eternal overlords who are willing to do so. As expected of the Purple Origin Demon Lord, the one who has the last laugh is indeed you. A cold voice sounded in the void, a speck of black light emerged from the void, and a person slowly walked out. It is Yangfeng. Yangfeng, you didn't die? How is that possible? How did you avoid the detection of me and the Primordial Darkness Lord? How is that possible? When the Purple Origin Demon Lord saw Yangfeng, as if he had seen a ghost, his face distorted, and he roared. Yangfeng replied with a faint smile, "What eternal overlords can't do may not be impossible for eternal monarchs." If Yangfeng was just an eternal overlord, then even if he was an invincible Holy Lord rank powerhouse, it would be difficult for him to disappear before the eyes of the Purple Origin Demon Lord and the Primordial Darkness Lord. However, the fleshly body of an eternal monarch is extremely mysterious. For a mere invincible Holy Lord like the Purple Origin Demon Lord, it is not difficult for Yangfeng to disappear in front of him. With a flap of his wings, mournful howls sounded, and the purple origin demon lord turned into a ray of purple light and fled into the distance. If he was at his peak, the purple origin demon lord would have the confidence to kill Yangfeng. But now that he is seriously injured, he naturally won't stay here to fight Yangfeng. Purple origin demon lord, if you were at your peak, it would be a little difficult for me to keep you here. After all, an old monster like you is easy to defeat, but difficult to kill. Unfortunately, since you and the primordial darkness lord are both injured, then today is the day you die. Yangfeng smiled faintly, his eyes shimmered coldly, and he took a step forward. Time, fate, space, power, speed, and other essences diffused strangely. In an instant, Yangfeng appeared in front of the purple origin demon lord and sent a fist barreling towards him. The fist easily tore through the scales on the purple origin demon lord's body and entered his body. A tyrannical force erupted and blasted the purple origin demon lord to pieces. The remaining 9 heads of the purple origin demon lord burst open at once. Purple light shone, and his torn body was restored again. Yangfeng, spare my life. I can recognize you as my master and serve you. I know the whereabouts of many treasures. There are also many treasures of eternal monarch rank powerhouses. As long as you spare my life, I will tell you the whereabouts of all those treasures. Otherwise, I'd rather destroy my memories than leave those treasures to you. The purple origin demon lord's eyes flashed with horror and despair, and he pleaded bitterly. No need, purple origin demon lord. You are too dangerous. Unless it is an eternal monarch, no one can control a transcendent like you. So die. With a frigid smile, Yangfeng punched the purple origin demon lord again and blasted him into pieces. The purple origin demon lord's 9 heads burst open again, and his body was restored in an instant. His eyes flashed with madness, and he roared ferociously. Yangfeng, since you are so vicious and want to kill me, then I will take you down with me. Purple light shone, and the purple origin demon lord's breath fluctuated. Too late. If you blew yourself up at the beginning, you could have hurt me. But now, how can I give you this chance? Yangfeng showed a smile of ridicule, pointed at the purple origin demon lord, and a devour imprint appeared. Devour imprints appeared on the purple origin demon lord's body, and the distortion force inside him was devoured by the devour imprint and turned into nutrients for the imprint. A look of horror on his face, the purple origin demon lord's eyes flickered with horror, and he screamed miserably. What's going on? Yangfeng, are you the reincarnation of an eternal monarch? Otherwise, how could you have such means? Die. Yangfeng smiled coldly and spread the fingers of a hand, and a devour black hole appeared and devoured the purple origin demon lord in an instant. A tremendous amount of eternal origin poured into Yangfeng from the purple origin demon lord and nourished his soul and fleshly body. It's really difficult to advance to the eternal monarch realm. Even if I devour a powerhouse of the purple origin demon lord's level, it won't increase my power by much. Unless I can devour 100,000 powerhouses of the purple origin demon lord's level, I won't be able to advance to the eternal monarch realm. Yangfeng sensed the changes in his body, and regret flashed in his eyes. The purple origin demon lord is an invincible holy lord ranked in the top 100 below the eternal monarch realm in the eternal world. In the entire eternal world, there are less than 1,000 powerhouses of the same rank as him. It is almost impossible to devour a powerhouse of the purple origin demon lord's level and transform into an eternal monarch. Chapter 1559. After I kill the purple origin demon lord, the wither monarch and the god-tooth monarch's treasures will be mine. The corners of Yangfeng's mouth rose, and he glanced at the wither world exuding wither chi. Then his figure fluttered, and he flew towards the wither world. Layers of strange chi that can easily wither eternal giants spread in the wither world and swept towards Yangfeng. As if a cool breeze caressed Yangfeng's face, The strange withering chi couldn't harm him in the slightest. Countless runes flickered in Yang Feng's eyes, and two golden rays entered the Wither World. Found it, the origin of the Wither World. Yang Feng's eyes flashed with ecstasy, and he took a step and appeared in the center of the Wither World. In the center of the Withered World, there was a black withered aura, emitting a strange black aura that could wither and extinguish all things. Yang Feng spread the fingers of a hand, and a devour mark appeared, turned into a black hole, and devoured the black chi. Black chi diffused and began to erode Yang Feng's black hole. A black ray flew out from the center of the withered black gas and entered Yang Feng's forehead. In Yang Feng's sea of knowledge, the Wither Monarch with 9 heads and 1,000 arms, the lower half of his body resembling a qilin, and the Wither scepter in his hand appeared. Ant, submit to me. Give me your body as nourishment for my resurrection. I will bestow you with power and glory. As soon as the Wither Monarch spoke, a magnificent and terrifying voice reverberated in Yang Feng's sea of soul. A natural fear of inferior life forms toward superior life forms gushed out of Yang Feng's soul, as if he was born to submit to the Wither Monarch and offer everything to him, as expected of an eternal king. Even with a wisp of a remnant soul, you can almost suppress me. If I had just advanced to the 9th firmament eternal realm, I would have been easily suppressed by you. But you can't even defeat the primordial darkness lord. Yet you want to suppress me? What a pipe dream. Yang Feng smiled coldly, and a maw that looks like it could devour the world appeared in his sea of knowledge, and it ferociously bit at the withered monarch and swallowed it. Bursts of roars came from the strange, bloody mouth. Giant claws pierced out of the bloody mouth. The withered king tried to struggle out of the bloody mouth. Countless devouring runes appeared in the bloody mouth and chewed, grinding away the withered king's remnant soul inch by inch. 30 years passed in the blink of an eye. In Yang Feng's sea of knowledge, the bloody maw finally disappeared. An extremely pure soul force pervaded his body and nourished his soul. To others, the eternal king's remnant soul is a terrifying enemy. But to me, it's a great nourishment. After devouring his soul, I had a clearer understanding of the path of the eternal king. What we lack now is resources. Yang Feng's eyes flickered with enigmatic light, and he extended his hand, and a black hole appeared and devoured the withered monarch's remnant origin. After the withered monarch's remnant origin was devoured, a pure white elephant tusk appeared and radiated crystal-clear light. This is the bone structure of a god emperor. The god-tooth monarch probably obtained the remains of an eternal god emperor at the time, and his body structure transformed into that of a god emperor. Unfortunately, only the tooth part transformed. No wonder he is called the god-tooth monarch. Yang Feng looked at the pure, white elephant tusk with a thoughtful look. He spread the fingers of a hand, and a black hole appeared and devoured the pure, white elephant tusk. Inside Yang Feng, the devoured dark earth world origin, withered origin, and god-tooth monarch released pure, eternal force and nourished his body and soul. A complicated ray flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, and he said slowly, I have obtained more than 99% of the power in the 4 monarchs' battlefield. According to the withered monarch's memories, even if I refine the power of the 4 monarchs, my underlying strength is still far from advancing to the eternal king realm. It's too difficult to advance to the eternal king realm. After Yang Feng devoured the purple origin demon lord, he obtained the purple origin demon lord's memories. In the purple origin demon lord's memories, there are indeed several clues about the eternal king's treasure trove in the outside world. However, those clues are elusive and difficult to find. Otherwise, he wouldn't have attached so much importance to the 4 monarchs' battlefield. The purple origin demon lord can be used. With a thought, Yang Feng's figure fluttered, and he turned into the purple origin demon lord. Even his soul fluctuations are identical. In the 4 monarchs' battlefield, there are no treasures that are worthy of me taking action. With a thought, Yangfeng turned into a stream of light and disappeared. In the Four Monarchs battlefield, there are still many eternal treasures that even many eternal sovereigns covet. But for Yangfeng, these treasures are not worth mentioning. They are not worth spending a lot of time searching here. As long as a batch of battle robots is left behind to search the battlefield of death, it will be enough. With a flash of purple light, Yangfeng appeared in the palace. "Greetings, my lord." When the purple origin demon lord in the palace saw Yangfeng, they saluted him respectfully. Yangfeng said flatly, "The primordial darkness lord is dead, and I have obtained all the treasures in the Four Monarchs battlefield. There is no value here. Let's go." "Yes, my lord." After the purple origin demon lord saluted Yangfeng, they began to leave. The myriad demon holy heaven's purple origin palace is the headquarters of the purple origin demon lord. In front of the gate of a secret treasury in the deepest part of the purple origin palace, there was a flash of purple light, and Yangfeng appeared in front of the gate. "Greetings, my lord." With two flashes of light, two eternal sovereigns appeared, bowed to Yangfeng, and said respectfully. Yangfeng nodded, looked at the gate of the secret treasury, and flicked his finger, and a drop of blood flew into the mouth of a dinosaur-like monster above the secret treasury. When the dinosaur-like monster swallowed Yangfeng's blood, it came to life, exuded invincible Holy Lord rank fluctuations of power, and said indifferently, "The identity of the purple origin demon lord has been confirmed. The treasury is open." The gate of the secret treasury opened slowly. Yangfeng stepped into the gate of the secret treasury. Inside the gate of the secret treasury, there is a complete and flawless world. The world is overflowing with treasure light, and there are all kinds of treasures of heaven and earth, eternal god trees, and rare ores everywhere. This is a mountain of Kunmo Dushir. To be able to find such a treasure, as expected of the purple origin demon lord. While walking in the world, Yangfeng's eyes suddenly lit up. He saw a 1,000-meter tall mountain of Kunmo Dushir appear in front of him and radiate eternal light. Kunmo Dushir is a very rare treasure in the eternal world. At the time, it was very difficult for Yangfeng to get a piece. But now there's a 1,000-meter tall mountain in the secret treasury, which is simply shocking. With this 1,000-meter tall mountain alone, I can refine 100,000 level, 8 strongholds, and obtain 100,000 monarch of sovereigns. Unfortunately, it doesn't make any sense. Yangfeng looked at the 1,000-meter tall Kunmo stone mountain, and his eyes flashed with a touch of regret. 100,000 monarch of sovereigns is equivalent to 100,000 first firmament eternal realm powerhouses, which means little to the current Yangfeng. With his current strength, he can suppress 100,000 first firmament eternal realm powerhouses by himself. "Master, please allow me to devour this mountain of Kunmo Dushir. Once I devour and refine it, coupled with other resources, I can evolve again and become more powerful." Ripples flickered, and Zero emerged from behind Yangfeng. Looking at the mountain of Kunmo Dushir, her beautiful eyes shimmered with excitement. Kunmo Dushir is a top material used to refine eternal treasures in the eternal world, so it isn't uncommon. However, mountain like Kunmo Dushir has always been extremely rare. As the young master of Azure, Yangfeng has never seen Kunmo Dushir. Yangfeng uttered with a smile, "As long as it's useful to you in the treasury, you can devour it." As Yangfeng's strength became more and more terrifying, there were fewer and fewer powerhouses who could fight side by side with him. After he formed the Eternal King's fleshly body, Zero was already far from his opponent. If Zero could also advance to an existence comparable to the Eternal King, then Yangfeng would gain a powerful helper. Zero's figure fluttered, and she appeared on the mountain of Kunmo Dushir. She opened her lily-white hand, and a devour black hole appeared and devoured the mountain of Kunmo Dushir. She sat quietly in place. 12 rays of light flashed, and the 12 holy apostles who have already been demoted to the first firmament eternal realm appeared and began to collect the world's rare resources. They placed them on Zero and let her absorb them. A ray of light flew out from Zero's forehead and entered Yang Feng's hand. So many precious resources are needed. However, as the master of the Purple Origin Demon race and the young master of Azure, I should be able to get them if I think of a way. When Yang Feng saw the information transmitted from Zero, he raised his eyebrows slightly, feeling confident. Time passed, and 3,000 years passed in a flash. During these 3,000 years, Yang Feng smoothly refined the eternal origin he obtained from the battlefield of the four monarchs, and his strength became even more unfathomable. During these 3,000 years, Yang Feng also traveled around in search of the treasures of Eternal King rank powerhouses. However, even though Yang Feng used the forces of the Purple Origin Demon race, the Azure Temple, and himself, he still couldn't find any ownerless Eternal King rank treasures in the Eternal World. Most of the clues in the memories of the Purple Origin Demon Lord are groundless. Even someone as strong as Yang Feng can't find the treasures of Eternal Kings based on these clues. Chapter 1560. On the Azure Star's Spirit Flood Dragon Lake, there is a man dressed in a white warlock robe, quietly fishing with a white jade fishing rod in his hand. Suddenly, the man's hand trembled, and he raised it forcefully. 100-meter-long WYRM, covered in white scales and emitting saint-rank fluctuations, flew out of the spiritual lake. Today's harvest is pretty good. This is a white flood dragon with true dragon bloodline. When I get back, I'll have Huayin cook it. It'll definitely be delicious. Yang Feng looked at the holy rank white flood dragon. His eyes lit up, and he revealed a carefree smile. In the world of warlocks, the white flood dragon can be regarded as an overlord. But in Yang Feng's eyes, it is just a top food ingredient, not worth mentioning. In the Eternal Realms, WYRM fishing and dragon hunting were a fashionable leisure activity for Eternal Sovereigns. On Yang Feng's left arm, the blue azure ring at once blossomed with blue light. Something big happened. Yang Feng raised his eyebrows and willed, and the azure ring burst out with blue light and projected an image of the Azure Lord in the void. A dignified expression on his face, the Azure Lord uttered unhurriedly, "Yang Feng, a new war of the kings has broken out. Return to the Azure Temple and discuss important matters." The war of the kings has broken out. Yang Feng raised his eyebrows, and his eyes shimmered with a dignified shade. The War of the Kings is a war that erupts between eternal kings for the opportunity to advance to the eternal God-Emperor realm. Once such a war breaks out, the eternal kings of the 10 holy heavens will be involved. The War of the Kings is not only a war between eternal kings, but also a war between countless major forces of the 10 holy heavens. Every time a War of the Kings occurs, countless powerhouses will die. Even invincible Holy Lord rank powerhouses will be involved in the war. Who is it? Come out. Yang Feng's heart suddenly stirred, and he looked around with a cold gaze and spoke frigidly, as expected of the most outstanding young master of the Azure Temple. I am a godson of the Kahara Holy Heavens Garvey God race. I'm here today to send you on your way. A man with a dinosaur-like head and snake-like hair, covered in a layer of cyan armor, sharp claws, and a spear-like tail, walked out with a creepy smile on his face. Yang Feng frowned and said, "A divine son of the Garvey divine race? There is no enmity between us. Why do you want to kill me? You humans have occupied the 3 sacred heavens. All the kings were extremely dissatisfied. Therefore, he had to purify the world. I'll make you disgusting and ugly humans disappear from this world. In accordance with the order of the great King Garvey, I will eradicate you lowly humans." The Garvey divine race's divine son looked at Yang Feng with disgust in his eyes and said coldly, "Humans were naturally beautiful in their human form. However, in the eyes of these mutants, humans were ugly and disgusting existences." Yang Feng looked around at the empty place and said with a faint smile, "You're really careful. In addition to you, there are still 4 eternal titans who came to besiege me. As expected of the Azure Temple's young master, Among the 3 sacred heavens occupied by the human race, you are ranked in the top 5 of the younger generation. A future invincible Holy Lord seed. It's worth it for us to take action. In the empty place, ripples flickered, and 4 eternal titans, who looked like they were carved from the same mold as the Garvey divine race's divine sons, exuding fearsome auras, appeared and stared at Yangfeng. Yangfeng's eyes shimmered with ridicule, and he uttered with a faint smile, "For eternal titans, you really think highly of me." The Garvey divine son sneered, "Yangfeng, it's not too late for you to surrender. As long as you surrender to the Garvey divine race and become our lackey, you'll be able to live. With just you? You want me to surrender? What a pipe dream." With a chuckle, an arm pierced through the chest of a Garvey divine race's eternal titan, and a devour black hole emerged and swept towards the Garvey divine race's eternal titan. The Garvey divine race's eternal titan was instantly devoured. An afterimage. You can actually insta-kill an eternal titan. How is that possible? Did you advance to an eternal titan? How could this be? Where the hell are you hiding? How did you advance to an eternal titan? When he saw Yangfeng insta-kill an eternal titan, the Garvey divine son was stunned, trembled, his body turned cold, and he cried out. 3 green rays flashed, and the 3 Garvey divine race's eternal titans extended their claws, which are shrouded in green light, and shot towards Yangfeng. "Die!" Yangfeng smiled indifferently and sent a fist flying, and a power star suddenly appeared and slammed into the 3 Garvey divine race's eternal titans like a meteor. Boom! The 3 Garvey divine race's eternal titans were blasted into pieces, and then devoured by the devour black hole that suddenly appeared. How can he be so strong? The Garvey divine son clenched his teeth, operated the essence of speed, turned into a green ray, and fled into the distance. A cold look in his eyes, Yangfeng extended his hand, and a giant hand pierced through the sky and mercilessly grabbed the Garvey divine son, crushed him, and devoured him. Yangfeng's eyes shimmered with a scorching shade. The War of Kings has finally broken out. This war is both a great tribulation and an opportunity for me. Without the War of Kings, I don't know how many hundreds of millions of years it would take for me to advance to an eternal king. But now that the War of Kings has broken out, I have a chance to advance to an eternal king. In times of peace, the power structure of the 10 holy heavens has been set. Every powerful force is guarded by an eternal king. If Yangfeng dares to hunt the powerhouses of the major forces unscrupulously, he will be suppressed by an eternal king. Once suppressed by an eternal king with all their strength, even someone as strong as Yangfeng will be in a sorry state, and may even be in danger of dying. But now that the War of Kings has broken out, the eternal kings will fight each other. This naturally gives Yangfeng a chance to rise. The Azure Temple's main hall. Yangfeng bowed to the Azure Temple's Holy Lord and said, "Greetings, Holy Lord." The Azure Temple's Holy Lord said unhurriedly, "Yangfeng, the War of Kings has broken out, and the warlords have entered the Antalaman Holy Heaven to fight fiercely. The Holy Heaven, the myriad demons Holy Heaven, the giant spirit Holy Heaven, the Gamanvir Holy Heaven, and the Kahara Holy Heaven have launched an all-out war against the 3 human races. As the young master of the Azure Temple, you must fight and protect the true Holy Heaven. Among the 10 holy heavens, the Antalaman Holy Heaven is the battlefield of the warlords. Only in the Antalaman Sacred Heaven could the Eternal Kings unleash their full power. If the Eternal Kings fight unscrupulously in the other 10 holy heavens, they will destroy the origin of the 10 holy heavens, and even lead to the decline of the 10 holy heavens to the upper heavens. This is why the Eternal Kings choose to fight in the Antalaman Holy Heaven. Additionally, every opportunity to advance to the Eternal God Emperor realm is in the Antalaman Holy Heaven. It is because of this that the Antalaman Holy Heaven is the battlefield of the warlords. Yangfeng pondered for a while, and then said, "Yes, Holy Lord. In recent years, Yangfeng has been practicing cultivation rapidly. By relying on the power of the Azure Temple, his forces have spread throughout the 3 human races. Now that the Azure Temple needs his help, he is naturally duty-bound to do so. These are the war zones within the defensive perimeter of the Azure Temple. You can choose one to guard. The Azure Lord pointed with a finger, and a blue star map appeared and radiated resplendent light, and one war zone after another appeared in front of Yangfeng. Choosing a war zone is the privilege of the Azure Lord. The other powerhouses of the Azure Temple can only obey the Azure Lord arrangements. Just this privilege alone could be the dividing line between life and death in a war. It is because of this that there are countless geniuses competing for the position of young master. Yangfeng's eyes flickered, and he asked slowly, "Holy Lord, have the eternal kings of the myriad demons, Holy Heaven, and the Kahara, Holy Heaven, entered the entanglement, Holy Heaven?" The Azure Lord answered unhurriedly, "As far as I know, the eternal kings of the 10 holy heavens have already entered the entanglement, Holy Heaven. Of course, the means of the eternal kings are heaven-defying. There may be other means that I don't know about. I can't guarantee you anything." "I know. In that case, I will choose this battlefield." Yangfeng pointed with a finger to the war zone guarded by the purple origin demon race. The Azure Lord responded, "Okay, go." With a flash of blue radiance, Yangfeng disappeared from where he stood. The purple Civ demonic domain is a star field bordering the forces of the purple origin demon race and the Azure Temple. Both forces have stationed armies in this domain. The blue maple star is the headquarters of the Azure Temple in the purple Civ demonic domain. The blue maple star in the sky mist temple, there was a flash of blue light, and Yangfeng appeared in the sky mist temple. "Greetings, young master." Within the sky mist temple, 4 eternal titans of the Azure Temple bowed to Yangfeng and said, "Young master, I am Wuhai. This is the information on the purple Civ demonic domain's war zone. Please accept it." A very young-looking youngster with short black hair and an extraordinary temperament smiled lightly and handed a blue crystal to Yangfeng. 4 eternal kings, 18 eighth heavens eternal realm experts, 39 seventh heavens eternal realm experts, 306 heavens eternal realm experts, 1000 fifth heavens eternal realm experts, 3,000 fourth heavens eternal realm experts, 50,000 third heavens eternal realm experts, 100,000 second heavens eternal realm experts, and 300,000 third heavens eternal realm experts. This is the underlying strength of the Azure Temple. It's really extraordinary. And this is just an ordinary war zone. Yangfeng crushed the blue crystal, and his eyes shimmered with enigmatic light. Chapter 1561. Yangfeng uttered indifferently, "Wuhai, you are still in charge of the purple demonic domain's affairs. I'll go hunt the myriad demonic holy heavens transcendent." Wuhai frowned slightly and said sternly, "Young master, there are many powerhouses in the purple demonic domain. There are no less than 10 eternal lords, and there are even holy lord rank transcendent. The purple origin demon lord is an invincible holy lord rank empyrean with unfathomable strength. You must not underestimate him." The other 3 eternal lords showed dissatisfaction in their eyes. In the myriad demonic holy heaven, the purple origin demon lord is second only to the 5 forces guarded by the 5 eternal monarchs. As a mere 8th firmament eternal realm powerhouse, Yangfeng can't stir up much trouble in the purple demonic domain. Yangfeng smiled indifferently, and wisps of 9th firmament eternal realm breath slowly spread from him in all directions. 9th firmament eternal realm. When Wuhai and the other 3 eternal lords sensed the fluctuations coming from Yangfeng, they inhaled a breath of cold air, and their eyes shimmered with incredulity. There is a natural chasm between the 8th firmament eternal realm and the 9th firmament eternal realm, which stops who knows how many geniuses. The Azure Young Lords are peerless geniuses with extraordinary talent and heaven-defying battle prowess. They are seeds that will become invincible Holy Lord rank powerhouses in the future. However, it takes a lot of time to advance to the ninth firmament eternal realm. On average, only one young lord will advance to an eternal lord every 10 million years. For Yang Feng to advance to an eternal lord in less than 10,000 years is simply heaven-defying. Wu Hai suppressed the shock in his heart and uttered with a smile, "Congratulations on advancing to the ninth firmament eternal realm, young master. Since you have advanced to the ninth firmament eternal realm, you are indeed a top powerhouse in the purple demonic domain. As long as you are careful and don't run into the purple origin demon lord, there won't be any danger. Okay, I'll leave this place to you. I'm leaving." After saying that, Yang Feng's figure shook slightly, and he turned into a stream of light flying towards the Ziluo demonic realm. When Yang Feng was at the eighth firmament eternal realm, he still needed to consult with the four eternal lords. But after advancing to the ninth firmament eternal realm, he can order them without any scruples. Wu Hai watched Yang Feng's disappearing figure and sighed faintly. Ninth firmament eternal realm. As expected of the young master. An eternal powerhouse smiled. That's only natural. Azure Temple has as many experts as the clouds and eternals as the rain. Only a heaven-defying genius like the young master could become an eternal powerhouse. If young master doesn't die, he will definitely become an invincible holy lord in the future. A blue-haired eternal giant suddenly said, "Do you think it's possible for the young master to become an eternal king?" Wu Hai was silent for a moment before shaking his head and sighing. "Impossible. If the young master had become an eternal magnate 100 million years ago, he might have had a chance to become an eternal king. But it hadn't been long since he became an eternal warlord. If you want to become an eternal king, you can only wait for the next war of kings." The other three eternal giants were silent for a moment, then nodded slightly. Everyone in the eternal world knew that the War of Kings was the only opportunity for all eternal powerhouses to advance to the eternal king realm. But those who could truly become eternal kings were still as rare as phoenix feathers and Qilin horns. It was rare for even one to appear in a billion years. The difficulty of advancing to the eternal king realm was evident. In the void of the Ziluo demonic domain, ripples flickered and Yang Feng's figure appeared. "Human, kill." When the Purple Origin Demon Legion stationed there saw Yang Feng, they flew out. Hundreds of millions of Purple Origin Demon Legions powerhouses flew towards Yang Feng and unleashed various offensive secret methods barreling towards him. A black force field surrounded Yang Feng. When the attacks of the Purple Origin Demon Legion slammed into Yang Feng, they were deflected to the side, unable to harm Yang Feng in the slightest. "I'm going to make some contributions. Consider yourself unlucky." A cold look in his eyes, Yang Feng spread the fingers of a hand, and a devour black hole suddenly appeared, radiated mysterious devour black light, and swept towards the hundreds of millions of Purple Origin Demon Legion powerhouses. Illuminated by the devour black light, the hundreds of millions of Purple Origin Demon Legion powerhouses were swallowed by the devour black hole and disappeared. In an instant, the Purple Origin Demon Legion, which can suppress a universe, was easily devoured by Yang Feng and turned into ashes. "Okay, I wiped out a Purple Origin Demon Legion. This great contribution is enough for me to disappear for a while." The corners of Yang Feng's mouth rose slightly, and he revealed a satisfied smile. His figure blurred and disappeared. Myriad demons, holy heaven. The firmament demonic realm is the lair of the eternal king sky demon monarch. The firmament temple, the center of the firmament demonic realm, is a demonic star with a diameter of 10,000 kilometers and engraved with countless mysterious runes. Ripples flickered, and Yang Feng appeared above the firmament temple. The firmament demonic realm is the lair of the sky demon monarch. There are countless secret treasures here. There may be an opportunity for me to make a breakthrough. Yang Feng looked at the firmament demonic realm with a flash of cold light in his eyes. Then, mysterious light emerged from his body, and he flew towards the firmament temple. Who dares to behave atrociously in my firmament temple? Yangfeng has just approached the periphery of the firmament temple when black light shone, and a rhombus demonic eye exuding strange fluctuations appeared and looked at Yangfeng. As expected of the sky demon monarch, the defenses of your lair are really tight. Unfortunately, your true body isn't here. Wither for me. Yangfeng revealed himself, shrouded in the light of wither. He smiled frigidly and beckoned with his hand, and the wither scepter appeared and slammed into the sky demon monarch eye. The sky demon monarch eye fired two gray beams of light that pierced through the sky and swept towards the wither scepter. Blasted by the beams of light, the wither scepter disintegrated, and the power of wither intertwined with the sky demon monarch eye and was worn away inch by inch. The sky demon monarch is really powerful. Unfortunately, your true body isn't here, yet you still want to block my way? What a pipe dream. Yangfeng smiled frigidly. Then his figure fluttered, and he appeared in front of the sky demon monarch eye and punched it. A peerlessly strange withering light that could wither the universe swept out, and the demon eye of the heavens trembled slightly before exploding and disappearing. Yangfeng tore apart a colorless and transparent barrier with his hands. Friend, this is the temple where the mighty and sacred His Majesty, the Sky Demon Monarch, resides. It's not too late for you to leave now. Otherwise, once His Majesty gets angry, no matter how big the eternal world is, there won't be a place for you. With a roar, a two-headed sky holy lord with 8 arms, one head resembling a dinosaur and the other resembling an alien, appeared and attacked Yangfeng like a storm with a blade, a spear, a sword, a halberd, a bow, a shield, a lance, and a 3-pointed, double-edged spear in his hands. A 10,000-meter-long, fierce beast covered in black scales, each of which has an eternal sovereign head embedded in it, exuding invincible holy lord rank breath, opened its maw and shot towards Yangfeng. In addition to the sky demon monarch, 7 invincible holy lords, 16 holy lords, and 96 eternal sovereigns flew out of the temple and unleashed offensive secret methods barreling towards Yangfeng. It's no use. Everything in heaven and earth will wither. An indifferent look in his eyes, Yangfeng, as if he's the embodiment of a wither king, pressed the fingers of a hand. Endless light of wither containing wisps of eternal sovereign rank power flowed out of Yangfeng's fingers and swept towards the sky demon monarch and the other powerhouses. Under the sweep of the withering light, all the various energies that filled the world withered. The barriers protecting the 96 eternal giants withered, and wisps of origin light were extracted and turned into specks of light that entered Yangfeng. That invincible holy lord rank giant scale demon eye beast was also struggling in pain in the withering energy, screaming miserably as its body withered and collapsed inch by inch. Eternal Sovereign, you are the reincarnation of the Wither King. The sky demon monarch's face fell, and his eyes shimmered with fear. Dark light emerged from him, tore through the sky, and he disappeared without a trace in an instant. The expressions of the other 7 invincible holy lords and 16 holy lord-level powerhouses changed drastically. They used their secret arts and fled in all directions. No matter how powerful an invincible holy lord is in front of an eternal sovereign, they are just ants. If they don't escape, only death will await them. Wither my world of wither. A cold look in his eyes, Yangfeng shone with the light of wither, turned into a world of wither, and swept towards the void. When the 2 invincible holy lords and the 13 holy lord rank powerhouses were swept by the world of wither, they were immediately sucked into the depths of the world of wither. Their bodies and souls withered inch by inch, and were eventually devoured by Yangfeng's eternal essence. The invincible holy lord rank giant scale beast was also absorbed by the world of wither and devoured by Yangfeng's devour essence. To be able to escape from me, Invincible Holy Lord rank powerhouses are really extraordinary. It seems that I was lucky to slay the purple origin demon lord. Yangfeng glanced at the disappearing figure of the sky demon monarch, then smiled indifferently, turned into a ray of wither, and rushed into the sky temple. Rays of withering light fell on the firmament palace. It was as if the end of the world had arrived. Wherever the light passed, all the demon clan withered and perished. Found it. Yangfeng passed through winding corridors, plunged into an ordinary demonic pool, passed through layers of barriers, and arrived in front of a pitch-black gate. The gate is called the Sky Gate. Behind the gate is a relic site of the Eternal Sovereign, which contains endless mysteries and resources. At the time, the Purple Origin Demon Lord used various secret methods to inquire about the existence of this treasure trove. But when the Sky Demon Monarch was still around, no one dared to have any ideas about this treasure trove. Chapter 1562. In the Eternal World, the Eternal Monarch controls everything. In the Eternal World, there are many relic sites and treasures of the Eternal Monarch, but more than 90% of them are in the hands of the Eternal Monarchs. Even if someone covets the Eternal Monarch's treasures, but they won't dare to touch the Eternal Monarch's food. When the Eternal Monarch was still around, even a bold and ambitious person like Yangfeng had to lie low, not daring to make the slightest movement. The outbreak of the War of Monarchs gave Yangfeng a chance. As soon as Yangfeng broke into the world, he saw a world shrouded in purple firmament demonic chi, and wisps of firmament demonic force pervaded the world. This world is full of firmament demonic chi. It contains the demonic force of the firmament demonic lord. Even a powerhouse of the purple origin demonic lord's level would find it very difficult to refine this world. However, I'm different. My essence is devour. For me, this world is a great tonic, a resource for evolution. Yangfeng's eyes flashed with a scorching shade, countless runes appeared, and he turned into a devour black hole, suspended above the world. Virtually endless firmament demonic chi gushed out of the world and poured into Yangfeng. The devour runes flickered and easily transformed the firmament demonic chi into pure eternal origin that nourished Yangfeng's body and soul. Brazen ant, you dare to break into my firmament demonic world, die. In the deepest part of the world, the firmament demonic lord, who looks like the embodiment of the firmament, has a ferocious head that looks like a mixture of an ox and a xenomorph, a curved horn on the head, the claws of a lion, and countless mysterious runes engraved on his body, appeared. With a roar, a purple beam tore through the sky from his curved horn and barreled towards Yangfeng. This is the firmament demonic lord's trump card, a strike of the eternal monarch. As soon as the purple beam appeared, a premonition of death welled up inside Yangfeng. Let me see how strong the firmament demonic lord is. A cold ray flashed in Yangfeng's eyes. Countless mysterious runes appeared on his body, and he sent a fist flying, and a power star suddenly appeared and slammed into the purple beam. The purple beam trembled slightly, shattered the power star, and then enveloped Yangfeng. Eroded by the purple beam, Yangfeng's eternal king rank fleshly body disintegrated inch by inch, revealing crystal bones. As the purple light eroded Yangfeng's flesh and blood, its power was continuously consumed. Sparkling white light emerged from Yangfeng's bones and finally blocked the erosion of the purple light. After a few breaths of time, the purple beam of light disappeared and Yangfeng turned into a skeleton with only a white jade skeleton remaining. With a flash of black light, flesh and blood regenerated from the white jade skeleton and instantly reconstructed Yangfeng's fleshly body. Amazing! What is sealed here is merely the power of a single attack from the Sky Demon King. Furthermore, it might not even be a full power attack from the Sky Demon King. If I were to fight him head-on, I would definitely not be able to block his full-powered attack. If he didn't escape, he would die. The Eternal King truly lives up to his name. Yang Feng's face was pale, and his eyes flashed with graveness. At this time, even an invincible Holy Lord rank powerhouse like the Sky Demon Lord is no longer Yang Feng's opponent. However, the power of a single attack sealed by the Sky Demon King was able to greatly injure Yang Feng, making him realize the gap between him and the Eternal King. This is an Eternal King rank fluctuation of power. In this world, there's an Eternal King rank source of power. Countless runes flickered in Yang Feng's eyes, and he turned into two beams of gold light and looked towards the place where the Sky Demon King appeared. He saw wisps of Eternal King rank fluctuations of power diffuse from hidden space. Treasures that can bear the power of an Eternal Monarch or an Eternal King are extremely rare in the Eternal world. In particular, treasures that can bear the power of an Eternal King are virtually extinct. With the Sky Demon King's ability, he can only set up a means to carry out a single attack in this world. However, the power of an Eternal King's attack must require a fearsome energy source, which is why Yang Feng was able to see through the flaw at a glance. Yang Feng's figure fluttered, and he appeared in the distorted space and tore the space with his hands. Rays of white purifying light spread out from the space. When the light of purification fell on Yang Feng's fleshly body, he felt bursts of burning pain. At the same time, he felt a burning pain in his soul. Yang Feng endured the pain and forcibly stepped into the space. He saw a skeleton with a dragon head, a human torso, tiger claws, and a fish tail, radiating divine light of purification nailed to an altar, and Eternal King rank fluctuations of power diffused from a skeleton. A living Eternal King. He was actually captured by the Sky Demon King and sealed here to serve as a power source of the treasury. He extracted the Eternal King's origin bit by bit to practice cultivation. What a generous move. Yang Feng looked at the skeleton with the head of a dragon, the torso of a human, the claws of a tiger, the tail of a fish, and the light of purification radiating from it. He clearly sensed fearsome soul fluctuations diffusing from a skeleton. This Eternal King must have been the king of purification from 79. 6 billion years ago. 90% of his Eternal King origin has been extracted. More than half of the eternal true spirit in his soul has collapsed. Even if he is released, it will be impossible for him to recover his full strength. Yang Feng took a deep look at the Purification Monarch and analyzed the state of the Purification Monarch. The King of Purification was raised here by the Firmament Demon King like a pig. He used the power of the King of Purification to extract the source of the 10,000 demon Holiness Heaven and convert it into pure, eternal King power for the Firmament Demon King to absorb. In this way, it is equivalent to the Sky Demon King and the Purification Monarch practicing cultivation together, but the results of their cultivation are stolen by the Sky Demon King. The King of Purification had been sealed here, fused with the whole of 10,000 demons' holy heaven, forming a strange phenomenon and mysterious secret realm. Once the Purification Monarch is transferred, he will die. This is why the Sky Demon King didn't take him away. This is really a bargain for me. A half-dead Eternal King. How wonderful! Excitement flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, and he turned into a black hole and swept towards the Purification Monarch. Boom! Boom! The entire secret realm collapsed, and the Purification Monarch was sucked into the black hole. Illo! As soon as the King of Purification was swallowed by the devouring black hole, he suddenly opened his mouth and let out a terrifying roar. Ripples spread out and directly shattered the devouring black hole. You're just a half-dead skeleton. Break from me! Yang Feng spewed out a mouthful of blood. A fierce ray flashed in his eyes, and countless devour runes appeared. With a roar, he sent a fist flying, and 5 phenomena, 4-star, Torn of Time, Spatial Portal, Devour Black Hole, and River of Fate, appeared and formed a force containing Eternal King force that slammed into the skeleton of the Purification Monarch. Boom! When the Purification Monarch skeleton was blasted into pieces, the remnant true spirit of the eternal monarch collapsed and entered Yang Feng's body. If the purification monarch was conscious, even if he had less than 1/10 of his strength left, he would still be able to suppress Yang Feng. But his true spirit is incomplete. He is a fat pig raised by the Sky Demon King. Although his strength is terrifying, but without a soul to control him, his offensive and defensive instincts are weakened to the extreme. Naturally, he is not Yang Feng's opponent. After the purification monarch was devoured by Yang Feng, the world began to collapse. With a flash of light, Yang Feng flew out of the secret realm. In the firmament temple, the void collapsed, and the celestial body began to crumble. With a flash of light, Yang Feng flew out of the firmament temple. Unfortunately, the Sky Demon King has many treasures, yet the purple origin demon lord only found this one. There are still countless treasures in the firmament temple, but I can't use them. What a pity. Yang Feng looked at the collapsed firmament temple with regret in his eyes. In the firmament temple, there are countless treasures and secrets. However, Demon Lord Ziyuan had only found this one clue. The rest of the treasure was hidden very deeply. Perhaps it was hidden in a bottle, or perhaps it was hidden in a grain of sand. Without any clues, wanting to find any trace of the treasure was undoubtedly a fool's dream. However, the purple origin demon lord has been dormant in the myriad demons' holy heaven for so many years. He must have found more than one treasure trove of the eternal king. The corners of Yang Feng's mouth rose into a mysterious smile. Then his figure fluttered, and he turned into a stream of light and disappeared. The Void Temple is the holy land where the Void Monarch, the eternal king of the myriad demons' holy heaven, resides. Ripples shimmered above the Void Temple, and Yang Feng appeared, turned into a stream of light, and flew towards the Void Temple. Wither Monarch. That's the reincarnation of the Wither Monarch. In the Void Temple, the Void Lord, who has a dinosaur-like head, countless spikes, claws, and a void rune on his forehead, saw Yang Feng, and his complexion changed dramatically, and fear shimmered in his eyes. Move at once. The Void Lord bellowed, took out a void scepter, and inserted it into the ground in front of him. In the Void Temple, one after another, the breath of eternal sovereign rank powerhouses rose and poured their power into the Void Temple. The Void Temple set off ripples that entered the void. Too late. A pair of big hands pierced into the Void Temple's barrier and tore it apart, and the barrier collapsed. Chapter 1563. Rays of withering light shone down from the crack, descending upon the Void Temple like the end of the world. Illuminated by the light of wither, countless void demons withered and turned into corpses. Run! Grief, indignation, and determination flashed in the eyes of the Void Lord, and he gritted his teeth and barked. The void rippled, and the eternal ones of the Void God clan fled frantically in all directions. The light of wither twisted and turned into a world of wither that swept towards the light the Void Lord has transformed into. With a wave of the Void Lord's hand, hundreds of eternal treasures flew out, turned into a torrent of treasures, and detonated themselves. Boom, boom, boom. A series of terrifying explosions came from the void, causing the withered world to tremble. The Void Saint Leader took this opportunity to disappear. In the Void Temple, light shone, and countless eternal sovereigns flew in different directions. The world of withering swept out, and beams of withering light fell upon the eternal ones, causing them to wither and become deathly still. Then they transformed into dust that drifted away with the wind. Invincible Holy Lord rank powerhouses are really hard to kill. Yang Feng looked at the Void Lord, who has already fled far away, shook his head, and then blurred into motion and entered the Void Temple. It's you. After passing through numerous winding corridors, Yang Feng appeared in front of a rockery, reached out with his hand, and grabbed a stone on the top of the rockery. Ripples flickered, and a monster with 6 human heads and a crocodile-like body appeared. It spoke in human language and said indifferently, This is the home of the dead, the entrance to the netherworld. Only the dead can enter. Are you ready to give up your body and soul and enter the netherworld? A mere phenomenon dares to play tricks. Yang Feng smiled coldly and extended his hand, and wither gas swept towards the monster. No, how can you kill me? Aren't you afraid that the treasury will be destroyed? The apathetic six-headed monster's body withered inch by inch, and its eyes flashed with despair. It screamed miserably, and black smoke rose up from its body. Seal. A cold look in his eyes, Yang Feng pointed at the forehead of the six-headed monster. Countless mysterious runes swept out and eroded the six-headed monster. The six-headed monster's eyes glazed over, and it opened its mouth, upon which a black vortex appeared. Yang Feng blurred into motion, turned into a stream of light, and entered the mouth of the six-headed monster. Once he entered the mouth of the six-headed monster, Yang Feng appeared in a small world. Eternal god trees grew everywhere in that complete little world, and all sorts of precious minerals could be seen everywhere. Countless mysterious runes flickered in Yang Feng's eyes, turned into two rays of gold light, and looked towards the small world, looking for the most precious treasures there. It's a pity that there isn't another eternal king in this small world to devour. There was a flash of disappointment in Yang Feng's eyes. He extended his hand, and a black hole emerged and enveloped the small world. The small world was devoured by Yang Feng and turned into food for his evolution. There was a look of satisfaction in Yang Feng's eyes. Not bad. After devouring this small world, my foundation to advance to the Eternal King realm has increased by 10%. With a flash of light, Yang Feng disappeared from where he stood. As soon as Yang Feng flew out of the six-headed freak's maw, he crushed the six-headed freak, and withering gas rolled out, and the six-headed freak turned into dust and disappeared. Yang Feng tore open a spatial rift with his hands, and he turned into a stream of light and entered the spatial rift. Ripples flickered above a mountain range surrounded by demonic qi, and Yang Feng appeared above the mountain range surrounded by demonic qi. The Hall of Despair has disappeared. What a fast movement. Yang Feng looked at the vast mountain range with a gloomy shade in his eyes. Each of the 5 major forces of myriad demon holy heaven has deep underlying strength, and their headquarters have all kinds of incredible power. After Yang Feng destroyed the firmament temple, it aroused the vigilance of the other major forces. Naturally, they won't stay and let Yang Feng go on a killing spree. With a wave of Yang Feng's hand, a teleportation gate appeared, and he turned into a stream of light and entered it. A teleportation gate appeared above a black cloud, and Yang Feng walked out of the void. His eyes shone with mysterious runes, and he looked towards the black cloud. The pale temple has disappeared as well. Yang Feng's gaze darkened, and he opened another teleportation gate and entered it. With a flash of light, Yang Feng appeared in a world filled with countless 10-meter-tall ghosts. Kill! 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 When the countless freaks saw Yang Feng, a ferocious glint emerged in their eyes, and they rushed towards him. The pale temple has disappeared as well. Yang Feng frowned and waved his hand, and a beam of withering light swept downwards. Illuminated by the beam of withering light, the ghosts in an area 10,000 kilometers in radius withered and turned into ashes. Yang Feng extended his hand, and countless wisps of withering gas entered his hand, wriggled, and turned into 3 powerhouses identical to the withered monarch. Yang Feng said indifferently, "Go collect the resources I need." Yes, the 3 powerhouses that looked exactly the same as the withered king exuded traces of eternal king rank aura as they flew towards the forces of myriad demon sacred heaven. Yang Feng smiled indifferently. Then his body turned into ripples and disappeared. The headquarters of the Kahara Holy Heavens Garvey celestial race is a 1 million kilometer long silver-white warship. The 1 million kilometer long silver-white warship is said to be the flagship of the Garvey Celestial King, and has made great contributions to the Garvey Celestial race. Later on, when the Garvey Celestial King advanced to the Eternal King, the flagship could no longer be used. It became a treasure of the Garvey Celestial race, and it is where the headquarters of the Garvey Celestial race is located. The silver-white warship shone with dim light, and streams of energy were drawn from the void, entered the silver-white warship, and became resources for the evolution of the Garvey Celestial race. Ripples flickered, and yang foam appeared above the silver-white warship. Garvey Celestial race, since you came to kill me, then you will be my first prey in the Kihara holy heaven. With a frigid smile, yang foam erupted with withering chi, turned into a meteor, and slammed into the silver-white warship. Boom! Along with a heaven-shaking blare, a huge hole was blasted open on the silver-white warship. Withering chi spread inside the warship, and countless Garvey Celestial race powerhouses died. Along with flashes of light, the Garvey Celestial race's Eternals fled in different directions. Not long after, ripples flickered, and yang foam flew out of the silver-white warship and disappeared. The reincarnation of the withered monarch has awakened, and it has begun a massacre to compete for resources. Troubled times have arrived. The reincarnations of the Eternal Kings have finally begun to move. In the 10 great sacred heavens, as one major force after another fell, all the major forces soon knew that there was a reincarnation of the withered king frantically attacking the major forces and plundering all kinds of resources. Everyone was in a state of panic. In a secret realm, ripples flickered, and a powerhouse with a dragon head and a human body slowly opened his eyes, and fluctuations of power between that of an invincible holy and an eternal king diffused from him. The withered monarch, that guy is actually resurrected. He resurrected 390 million years earlier than I expected. As soon as the dragon-headed expert opened his eyes, a terrifying and distorted true dragon aura spread out, distorting the void. However, the War of the Monarchs has broken out. The monarchs are going to the Antalaman holy heaven to compete for the opportunity to become the God Emperor. This is the only chance for us losers. The eyes of the dragon-headed true dragon king flickered coldly, and he belched true dragon breath, which scattered on the ground and combined with the stones and spirit liquid on the ground. Distorted light flickered, and 100 true dragons exuding eternal sovereign rank breath appeared, prostrated themselves in front of the true dragon king, and said respectfully, "Greetings, Imperial Father." The true dragon king smiled coldly and uttered, "Very well, let us return to the earth and set foot on the summit again." "Yes, Imperial Father." The eyes of the 100 true dragons flickered fiercely, and they roared. With a flash of light, the true dragon king commanded the 100 true dragons to fly towards the giant spirit sacred heaven. The giant spirit sacred heaven's headquarters. The dragon holy lord occupying a dragon mountain sensed the restlessness of the bloodline inside him, and his complexion suddenly changed dramatically. The ancestor has awakened. The ancestor has awakened. Our dragon king has awakened. From today on, the dragons will rule the world again. The entire dragon clan was filled with eternal dragon chi, filled with excitement. The eternal world was filled with powerful races, and the true dragon clan was only a first-rate force. Any force without the protection of an eternal king was only a first-rate force. But once the true dragon king awakened and stepped into the eternal king realm again, the true dragon clan will become a top race in the eternal world. The true dragon king has awakened. He was stimulated by the withered monarch. Should I come out? Every era can only support one eternal king's ascension. If I come out, I will have to compete with the true dragon king and the withered monarch. Do I have a chance of winning? As soon as the true dragon king appeared, the seriously injured existences that had fallen from the eternal king realm were greatly moved, and they began to weigh the pros and cons. Chapter 1564. The eternal world is vast and has endless resources. In theory, It can support the birth of more than 10,000 eternal kings. However, the vast majority of resources are controlled by the living eternal kings. Even if the War of Kings broke out, there would only be one eternal king in every era in the eternal world, or rather, only one eternal king would be born. After Yang Feng's incarnation of the withered monarch and the true dragon king emerged, if the sleeping eternal kings want to emerge, they must be certain that they can defeat the withered monarch and the true dragon king. Otherwise, if they aren't careful, they may even become food for their evolution. In a secret realm that was filled with endless golden light, a huge golden mountain shone brightly and directly exploded. A 10,000-meter-long golden-winged rock flew out of the golden mountain and radiated resplendent golden light. True Dragon King, since you have awakened, then let's engage in a battle that will last for billions of years. Exuding a fierce aura, the golden-winged rock monarch tore through the sky, entered the void, and flew towards the Gamonville Holy Heaven. A day later, the Gamonville Holy Heaven's manway celestial race was destroyed by the golden-winged rock monarch. More than 80% of the manway celestial race's powerhouses were devoured by the golden-winged rock monarch. This news shook the entire eternal world. The golden-winged rock monarch has emerged. The golden-winged rock monarch and the true dragon king have been mortal enemies for billions of years. Since the true dragon king has emerged, the golden-winged rock monarch is bound to emerge as well. Otherwise, once the true dragon king steps into the eternal king realm again, the golden-winged rock monarch will safely die. Since the two of them have emerged, then I won't get involved. When the eternal kings, who were about to awaken, sense that the golden-winged rock monarch and the true dragon king have emerged, they weighed the pros and cons, and then chose to give up on the competition. The golden-winged rock monarch and the true dragon king have emerged. In that case, it's time for me to stop and move on to the next step. Kihara Holy Heaven. On a broken celestial body, Yang Feng's eyes flickered, his body rippled, and he disappeared. A few days later, in the basement of a villa in true Holy Heaven, a warp gate flashed, and Yang Feng walked out. The harvest this time is huge. I plunder the treasures of 6 eternal kings. Once I completely refine it, I'll have hope of becoming an eternal king. With a scorching shade in his eyes, Yang Feng sat down cross-legged and closed his eyes, and countless mysterious runes permeated his body. Every time the mysterious runes shone, Yang Feng's aura becomes stronger by a fraction, and his fleshly body and soul transform. 10 years passed in the blink of an eye. In the secret room, Yang Feng slowly opened his eyes, looked at the dust on the ground, and frowned. It really isn't that simple to advance to the eternal king realm. My resources have been exhausted, and I'm still a long way from becoming an eternal king. Looks like I can only use the divine emperor bone. As long as I become an eternal king, I'll have a chance to find the divine emperor bone in the future. If I don't advance to become an eternal king, then when all the kings return, I will die without a burial. With a resolute look in his eyes, Yang Feng took out the divine emperor bone, dissolved it, and refined it into his body. The relic site of the Garvey primordial race's headquarters. With a flash of light, the true dragon king with a dragon head and a human body appeared in front of the relic site. Wither monarch? Since I and the Goldwing rock monarch came into being, the Wither monarch has disappeared without a trace. This is not in line with the Wither monarch's character at the time. At the time, he was fierce and ruthless, not putting us in his eyes. The true dragon king looked at the relic site, and 2 beams of true dragon light shot out his eyes and swept towards the relic site. Swept by the true dragon light, the remaining wisps of wither gas in the relic site flew out and fell into the true dragon king's hand. This withering power contains a trace of the eternal king's power. However, this is the power of an eternal king that is undergoing transformation. Moreover, the essence of this power is not wither, but devour. Someone disguised as a wither monarch and plundered the eternal king's treasures in order to evolve into an eternal king. The true Dragon King glanced at the wisps of wither gas, and his gaze turned cold. He saw through the essence of the wither force at once. The wither force is Yang Feng's own power transformed by the wither monarch's secret method. It is extremely powerful. Although it can deceive invincible Holy Lord rank powerhouses, but it cannot deceive an eternal king like the true Dragon King. Among the 10 holy heavens, there is only one person who is proficient in the essence of Devour and has reached this level. That is the Azure Temple's young master Yang Feng. He's hiding so deeply. Dragon Chi surged in the eyes of the true Dragon King. In an instant, he scanned the top powerhouses of the 10 holy heavens and locked on Yang Feng, and his eyes shimmered with frigid, killing intent. Among the 10 holy heavens, there are many powerhouses proficient in the essence of Devour. However, in the past 1 billion years, only Yang Feng has advanced to an eternal king powerhouse. Coupled with other characteristics, the true Dragon King locked on to Yang Feng at once. Since Yang Feng attacked first, he must have obtained great benefits. We must kill him before he advances to an eternal king. Otherwise, we will all be reduced to nourishment for his evolution. The true Dragon King's eyes shimmered coldly. Countless mysterious runes appeared in his eyes, and he looked at a wither force. The wither force churned and turned into a dragonborn. The dragonborn has just appeared when it collapsed and turned into dust under the effect of a mysterious law. This Yang Feng seems to have touched the threshold of the Eternal King realm. He's only one step away from advancing to an Eternal King. Furthermore, he used the essence of fate to cut off all traces of himself very carefully. Damn it! With a ruthless flash in his eyes, the true Dragon King looked up at the void and uttered frigidly, "Since you're hiding from me, then I'll destroy your foundation in the true holy heaven first. Let's see how you'll fight me in the future." The starry sky outside the true holy heaven's Azure Temple. True Dragon Chi emerged from the void, and one true dragon after another flew towards the Azure Temple's headquarters. "Azure Lord, come out. The great true Dragon King wants to see you." A 1,000-kilometer-long true dragon Holy Lord looked at the Azure Temple and spoke in a thunderous voice that reverberated in the void. Ripples flickered, and Azure Lord appeared above the Azure Temple. At a glance, he saw countless true dragons surrounding the Azure Temple's headquarters. Surrounded by the countless true dragons, there was a golden carriage. Sitting on the golden carriage was a person with the head of a dragon and the body of a human. He gave off the terrifying ripples of an eternal king. It was the true Dragon King. Damn it, it's the true Dragon King. When Azure Lord saw the true Dragon King, his heart sank slightly. Originally, even if the true dragon race went all out to attack, Azure Lord was confident that he could defeat them by relying on the terrain. But now that the true Dragon King appeared, the Azure Temple has no chance of winning. Azure Holy Lord bowed to the true Dragon King and said respectfully, "Great true Dragon King, may I know what brings you to my Azure Temple?" There was a flash of frigid killing intent in the eyes of the true Dragon King, and he uttered frigidly, "Hand over Yang Feng. Otherwise, I will destroy your Azure Temple and leave no one alive." Yang Feng, Azure Lord, was taken aback, and then gritted his teeth and uttered, "Great true Dragon King, Yang Feng is not in my Azure Temple at the moment. We don't know his whereabouts. For Yang Feng to offend you, my Azure Temple will not tolerate it. From this moment on, Yang Feng is no longer the young master of my Azure Temple. In the name of the Azure Temple's Holy Lord, I swear that once my Azure Temple has news of Yang Feng, I will report it to you." Sacred Lord Azure, Sacred Lord, was very decisive and immediately swore. His oath turned into resplendent light, formed a gorgeous contract, and entered his forehead. "Unfortunately, I don't trust you. I don't trust you lowly humans. Go to hell." A cruel light flashed through the eyes of the true Dragon King. He smiled coldly and reached out with his claw. Endless dragon energy surged and formed a golden dragon that was 10,000 miles long. It descended from the sky and clawed at Sacred Lord Azure. Startled, Azure Lord pointed with the scepter in his hand. In the headquarters of Azure's Sacred Hall, streaks of dazzling blue light flashed. Stars appeared one after another, forming a starry barrier in front of Azure, Sacred Lord. Boom! When the true Dragon King's attack landed on the blue astral boundary, it forcibly shattered the astral boundary and continued to rumble towards the headquarters of Azure Temple. Along with flashes of blue light, Azure Temple's eternal sovereigns turned into streams of light and fled in different directions. A fierce gleam in his eyes, the true Dragon King roared. "Kill them all. I want to kill all humans related to Yangfeng. Let's see how long he can endure." Countless true dragons let out roars as they descended from the sky, pouncing towards the experts of Azure Temple, hunting them down. "True Dragon King, you will die a horrible death. My Azure Temple will not rest until you are dead." Sacred Lord Azure Blue let out a shrill cry before turning into a ray of light and disappearing from where he stood. Along with flashes of blue light, eternal lords, holy lords, and invincible holy lord rank powerhouses fled in all directions. At this moment, a beam of light full of sacred and mighty aura rose from somewhere in the true holy heaven and entered the sky. The entire eternal world trembled, and a tremendous amount of origin force gathered towards the true holy heaven from the 9 holy heavens. Chapter 1565. A wave of fear and trembling welled up in the hearts of everyone in the 10 sacred heavens. Eternal King. Someone is advancing to the Eternal King realm. This is bloodline suppression. Someone is advancing to the Eternal King realm. The eyes of the knowledgeable Eternals in the 10 holy heavens shimmered with shock. They are aware that someone is advancing to the Eternal King realm. The endless energy gathered by the 10 holy heavens converged towards the area where Yangfeng is located and formed a fearsome energy storm. A river of time emerged in the void, and the history of the 10 holy heavens was reversed. Walking in the river of time, Yangfeng absorbed time force and condensed the essence of time origin. "Yangfeng, I finally found you. You've already reached this step. I can't let you live." When the true Dragon King saw Yangfeng, his eyes shimmered fiercely, and he rode endless true Dragon Shi, tore through the void in an instant, crossed who knows how many light years, appeared in front of the river of time, and extended his claw towards Yangfeng. The reason why Eternal Kings are very rare in the Eternal world is that it is difficult to advance to the Eternal King realm. Once they fail to advance, only death will await them. On the other hand, the vast majority of powerhouses are unwilling to see the birth of an Eternal King. As such, countless people will step in to stop them. Yangfeng, who is walking in the river of time, is tracing the essence of time. All his power is poured into the essence of time. As such, he can't resist the strike of the true Dragon King. At this moment, a whip of ruler shot out from the void, pierced through the sky, turned into a bolt of lightning, and slammed into the dragon claw of the true Dragon King and shattered it. Zero walked out of the void, her beautiful eyes flashing with coldness. She pointed her finger, and 6 whips of the ruler's whip flew out. It was as if 6 true dragons had been born, hunting wild beasts, and they lashed out at the true Dragon King. "Break!" A fierce glint flashed in the eyes of the true dragon monarch, and he belched a fearsome dragon breath barreling towards Yangfeng in the river of time. The 6 whips of ruler intertwined and formed a whip net blocking in front of Yangfeng. When the dragon breath slammed into the net of whips, it burned the net into ashes. With a wave of his hand, a seemingly endless number of adjudicators and 1 million Eternal Realm adjudicators appeared and attacked the true Dragon King. The 1 million Eternal Sovereign rank adjudicators are weapons Yangfeng made by plundering the Eternal King's treasure troves. Even if it is an invincible Holy Lord rank adjudicator, they will have to expend some effort to kill them all. A bunch of ants actually dare to obstruct the mighty true Dragon King. I'll show you the power of an eternal king. The true Dragon King's eyes flashed ferociously, and he spat out a terrifying stream of true dragon chi that swept towards the adjudicator and the judiciary ruler. When the billions of adjudicators were swept up by the true dragon chi, they underwent a bizarre transformation and turned into mechanical dragons. The 1 million eternal level adjudicator chief sovereigns trembled and began to dragonize bit by bit. Resonance. A cold gleam flashed in Ling's eyes, and mysterious resonance ripples emerged from her body and spread in all directions. The 1 million eternal level adjudicator chief sovereigns began to resonate with each other, and their power merged into one to contend against the true Dragon King's dragonization. The mechanical dragons formed from billions of adjudicators fought with the 1 million adjudicator chief sovereigns, and the sound of huge explosions rang incessantly. At this moment, Yang Feng came to the source of the river of time, opened his mouth, and inhaled, and the river of time entered his body. One after another, spatial portals containing the law of space emerged and entered Yang Feng's body. Go to hell, Yang Feng. Seeing this scene, the true Dragon King no longer entangled himself with Ling. He extended his claw, turned into a 100,000 kilometers long true dragon, opened its maw, and shot towards Yang Feng. As long as I don't die, you can't hurt my lord. Ling's beautiful eyes flickered coldly, and the ruler's whips emerged, intertwined, and whipped the 100,000 kilometers long true dragon. Boom! Boom! When the ruler's whips hit the true dragon, a portion of the true dragon will be smashed. Although the true dragon was reduced to 50,000 kilometers in size in an instant, but it still barreled towards Yang Feng. Beams of starlight flashed, and the star concubine appeared with the star shield of ruler in her hand. She controlled the boundless starlight to block in front of the dragon. Boom! When the true dragon slammed into the ruler's star shield, it shattered together with the star concubine. A crystal chip of the star concubine flew out, turned into a stream of light, and entered Ling's hand. After the true dragon smashed the star concubine, it shrunk to 20,000 kilometers in size. Ling blocked in front of the true dragon and slammed a fist into it. A violent force erupted in an instant and shattered the true dragon. At the moment when the true dragon collapsed, cracks appeared on Ling's body. Countless spatial portals entered Yang Feng's body at the same time. A power star emerged from the void and merged with Yang Feng. Damn it, go to hell. The eyes of the true Dragon King flickered fiercely, and he flew towards Yang Feng. Shadows emerged from the shadows behind the true Dragon King. Holding the ruler's shadow spear, Shadow burned all his power, turned into a shadow spear, and stabbed towards the true Dragon King. Die! The true Dragon King raised its tail and whipped Shadowy with its huge tail. Bombarded by the fearsome dragon chi, Shadow's body disintegrated in an instant, and a core chip flew out. Under the impact of the fearsome true dragon force, countless cracks appeared on the core chip. It's you who's going to die. Ling's beautiful eyes shone coldly as she burned her origin force and lashed the true Dragon King's huge body with her whip. When the ruler's whip hit the true Dragon King's dragon scales, they caved in and burst open, and large amounts of flesh and blood splashed about. The ruler's whip twisted and then stabbed into the true Dragon King's flesh and blood like a spear. Devour light shone and devoured the true Dragon King's flesh and soul. Ant, you dare to injure me. With a flash of anger in his eyes, the true Dragon King roared, and fearsome true dragon force erupted in an instant and rushed into Ling along the ruler's whip like a flood. When the eternal force, which is almost comparable to that of the eternal king, rushed into Ling's body, cut her open, and a copious amount of blood sprayed into the sky. With a flash of light, the ruler's whip was shattered by Ling herself. After being seriously injured, Ling still didn't stop. She urged the ruler's whip to attack the true Dragon King frantically, forcing the true Dragon King to fight her. A river of fate emerged, and Yang Feng stepped into the river of fate and endured the scouring of fate force. In the world of warlocks, Yang Feng's eternal mark appeared, shook slightly, and in accordance with the laws of Nether, disappeared. In the next moment, the river of fate disappeared. A devour black hole emerged, and Yang Feng stepped into the devour black hole and sat cross-legged in the center. Yang Feng's eternal mark walked out of the void, turned into a stream of light, and entered his body. Once Yang Feng's eternal mark fully integrated with him, he will be able to advance to the Eternal King realm. No matter which universe he goes to, he will be able to mobilize universe origin force, and his body and soul will be perfect. Dai Yuan. When the true Dragon King saw this scene, his eyes shimmered fiercely, and he gritted his teeth, burned his blood essence, and unleashed the true dragon's secret method. In an instant, he reached the Eternal King realm and sent a claw barreling towards Ling. The true Dragon King's claw smashed Ling's resistance and blasted her away for tens of thousands of kilometers, her body riddled with wounds. After advancing to the Eternal King realm, the true Dragon King's strength has increased sharply. As long as he attacks Ling, he can kill her in less than 10 moves. Go to hell, Yang Feng. The true Dragon Monarch didn't pay any attention to Zero. Instead, it extended its claw and sent true dragon force towards Yang Feng. True Dragon King, you're a step too late. Yang Feng opened his eyes, which flickered with frigid light. Eternal King rank fluctuations of power spread from him, and he sent a claw barreling towards the true Dragon King. Boom! The void collapsed, and the true Dragon King was sent flying 10,000 kilometers away. His body cracked, and a copious amount of dragon blood dripped on the ground. At the same time, his aura weakened by more than 100 times. You were seriously injured and fell from the Eternal King realm. Forcibly stimulating the power of the Eternal King has already worsened your injuries. You're no longer my opponent. Since you dared to come and kill me, only death awaits you. Let me send you off. Eyes flashing with frigid, killing intent, Yang Feng took a step, appeared in front of the true Dragon King in an instant, and extended a claw, and a devour black hole emerged and swept towards the true Dragon King. The true Dragon King's face turned pale, and his eyes shimmered with fear. True dragon chi gushed out of him, and he flew away in an attempt to escape the devour black hole. Dying! A cold voice sounded, and the devour black hole appeared above the true Dragon King in an instant, and devour black light swallowed the true Dragon King. No, don't kill me. Yang Feng, I was wrong. Don't kill me. The true Dragon King's wail came from the devour black hole. Chapter 1566. Yang Feng, I know many treasures of the Eternal King, many secrets of the Eternal King. Don't kill me. I can serve you for 100,000 years. My dragon clan has countless beauties. I can offer all of them to you. The true Dragon King struggled frantically in the devour black hole and pleaded loudly. He is the only dragon powerhouse who has advanced to the Eternal King rank. His lifespan is calculated in the hundreds of millions of years, making him older than some universe powerhouses. But he still doesn't want to die. No need. I only want your Eternal King origin. Yang Feng smiled coldly, and devour runes shone, and devour black light spilled towards the true Dragon King. The true Dragon King issued a series of miserable screams and struggled frantically. Then it turned into ashes bit by bit, and the ashes drifted away with the wind. Yang Feng beckoned with a hand, and light flashed, and the battered and tattered Zero appeared in front of him. The dragon energy within Zero's body churned, tearing her body apart continuously, making it impossible for her body to heal itself. Yang Feng pointed with a finger, and countless devour runes entered Zero and frantically devoured the dragon chi inside her. Within a dozen-plus breaths of time, Yang Feng devoured all the Eternal King rank true dragon chi inside Zero. Now you damned true dragons, go to hell. Yang Feng glanced at the true dragons wreaking havoc in the Azure Temple with a cold look in his eyes and pointed with a finger. A black hole appeared in the middle of the true dragons, and devour black light swept towards them. Tens of thousands of true dragons were drawn into the devour black hole. Your Majesty Yang Feng, stop. Spare my life. Spare the lives of the dragons. The dragons are willing to submit to you and never betray you. The face of the true dragon patriarch twisted. He issued a heart-wrenching scream, performed various secret methods, and struggled frantically. No matter how the true dragon patriarch struggled, he couldn't resist the terrifying suction. In a breath of time, he was swallowed into the devour black hole. The devour black hole, suspended in the void, shrank, and dust fell from the sky and drifted down with the wind. They're all dead. Those are the elites of the true dragon race. The true dragon king is dead. The true dragon king is dead. That's the young master. The young master actually broke through the eternal wall and became an eternal king. Azure Sacred Temple actually has 2 eternal kings. Cheers came from the Azure Sacred Temple. There are only 2 eternal kings in the true holy heaven. Now that Yang Feng has advanced to an eternal king, it means that the Azure Temple has become the #1 force in the true holy heaven. Eternal king. He actually became the eternal king. Azure Holy Lord looked at Yang Feng with jealousy and envy in his eyes, and his thoughts churned. In the end, he sighed in frustration and worry. I wonder if his advancement to the Eternal King realm is a blessing or a curse for my Azure Temple. The rest of the Eternal Dragon bigwigs looked at Yang Feng from afar with mixed emotions in their eyes. Azure Temple already had the protection of the Azure True Extreme Monarch, but another Eternal Monarch was born. This meant that the 2 Eternal Monarchs would likely clash over the authority and resources of Azure Temple. If internal strife breaks out in the Azure Temple, then the Azure Temple may even decline. Yang Feng glanced at Azure Holy Lord and smiled indifferently. Then his figure fluttered, and he disappeared. Above a ruin in the Gamenvir Holy Heaven, the face of the Goldwing Rock Monarch suddenly flickered. The true Dragon Monarch died. He was killed by an Eternal King who just advanced to an Eternal King. That's really bad. If I'm not mistaken, the Eternal King should be on his way to kill me. For Eternal Kings, there are very few resources in the 10 holy heavens that can enable them to continue to evolve. Most eternal treasures are of no use to them. Yang Feng is proficient in the essence of Devour. But since he advanced to an Eternal King, no matter how many Eternal Dragon bigwigs he devours, he can only accumulate more experience at most. He can't undergo an essential evolution. Only by devouring Eternal King-level powerhouses could he rapidly transform and become even more powerful. Leave this place at once. The Goldwing Rock Monarch screamed, and a fearsome sound wave spread in all directions. Along with flashes of light, the Goldwing Rock Monarch, shrouded in golden light, fled in different directions. The Goldwing Rock Monarch cast a secret method, flapped his wings, turned into a golden ray, and flew into the distance. Goldwing Rock Monarch, you're really smart. Unfortunately, you're still a step too slow. Ripples flickered in the void, and Yang Feng walked out of a river of time and space, spread the fingers of a hand, and pressed them on the forehead of the golden-winged Rock Monarch. A Devour mark emerged and devoured the golden-winged Rock Monarch. Yang Feng, I have no enmity with you. Why are you trying to kill me? In the Devour black hole, the Goldwing Rock Monarch spread his wings, struggled wildly, and roared. An indifferent look in his eyes, Yang Feng uttered coldly, Goldwing Rock Monarch, if I leave and you attack us humans, I'm afraid that we humans will be severely injured. It will take us hundreds of millions of years to recover. Therefore, for the sake of the human race, I can only ask you to die. The Goldwing Rock Monarch said with a ferocious smile. Ha ha, for the sake of the human race? You're doing this for my Eternal King origin. You despicable scoundrel. Of course, I don't deny that this is a factor. An indifferent look in his eyes, Yang Feng willed, and devour black rays swept towards the gold-wing rock monarch from the devour black hole. The gold-wing rock monarch struggled for a while, then trembled and turned into ashes and disappeared. The gold-wing rock monarch died. How savage! Yang Feng really advanced to an eternal king. When the eternal world's powerhouses who were paying attention to this scene saw this, a chill welled up inside them. The pseudo-eternal kings hiding in mysterious places like the true dragon monarch, who were seriously injured in the War of Kings and in a state of rebirth, dare not reveal their whereabouts. Enchantment, sacred heaven, the place where the monarchs fight, the place of opportunity to become an eternal deity emperor, is my true battlefield. Yang Feng took a look at the void, then his figure fluttered, and he turned into a stream of light and disappeared. The opportunity to advance to an eternal god emperor only appears once every 100 million years. If Yang Feng misses this opportunity, he doesn't know how many hundreds of millions of years he will have to wait for the opportunity to advance to an eternal god emperor. Once another eternal king advances to an eternal god emperor, the entire eternal world will be under the control of the eternal god emperor, and Yang Feng will no longer have a chance. Enchantment, sacred heaven. Ripples flickered, and Yang Feng appeared in the most mysterious 10th holy heaven of the battlefield of kings. As soon as he entered the Enchantment, sacred heaven, Yang Feng keenly felt fearsome and powerful forces vibrate in the void. Yang Feng's eyes shimmered with enigmatic light, and he mused, "The fighting has already begun." In other words, have the God Emperor Bone and the God Emperor Divine Garden appeared? The God Emperor Bone is the legendary skeleton of the God Emperor who established this universe. The Divine Emperor Divine Garden was a peerless divine garden that the Divine Emperor had refined for his cultivation. In the God Emperor Divine Garden, there are countless peerless treasures that don't exist in the eternal world. Only by obtaining the God Emperor Bone and the treasures in the God Emperor Divine Garden can the eternal monarchs evolve into true eternal God Emperors. Due to their fear of each other, the eternal monarchs in the eternal world won't easily attack and kill each other. Only by competing for the opportunity to advance to an eternal God Emperor will they recklessly wage war and kill each other. This is the power of the firmament demon monarch. He can be my first prey. Strange ripples flickered, and Yang Feng disappeared without a trace, drifting in the direction of a battlefield. In a star domain, beams of demonic light descended from the sky with terrifying destructive power, blasting towards the Garvey monarch, who is tens of thousands of kilometers tall. Hand over the God Emperor Bone or die. Riding boundless light, the firmament demon monarch spoke in a thunderous voice that reverberated in the void. The Garvey monarch uttered coldly, "Firmament demon monarch, our strength is about the same. A fight between us is meaningless. Stop it." A frigid look in his eyes, the firmament demon monarch roared wildly, "Hand over the God Emperor Bone. Otherwise, we won't rest until one of us is dead. If you want to fight, then I'll fight." A fierce ray flashed in the Garvey monarch's eyes, and he unleashed a secret method, brandished the spear in his hand, and fought the firmament demon monarch. The two eternal kings fought in a frenzy. Wherever their power passed, stars collapsed and turned into powder. Heaven collapsed and the earth cracked. Spatial rifts appeared in the sky. If the two eternal monarchs fought fiercely in the eternal world, who knows how many lesser heavens, middle heavens, and even greater heavens would perish at their hands. In the eternal world, there have been two eternal monarchs fighting in the eternal world, which eventually led to the destruction of 16,000 greater heavens and the death of countless life forms. Yang Feng, who is completely invisible, lurked quietly on the side, waiting for an opportunity. Time elapsed, and 100 years passed in the blink of an eye. From the center of the battlefield, the firmament demon monarch and the Garvey monarch have fought to a remote place in the Enchantment sacred heaven. The two powerhouses are riddled with wounds, and their vitality is greatly damaged. The Garvey monarch uttered unhurriedly, his face pale, "Firmament demon monarch, stop it. If this goes on, it will only be a lose-lose situation. How about this? I'll join forces with you and help you seize a god emperor bone. I can make a king's oath, what do you think?" Chapter 1567. The Sky Demon Monarch's eyes flickered, and he uttered in a deep voice, "Okay." Although the Sky Demon Monarch is slightly stronger than the Garvey Monarch, but if they continue to fight, only mutual destruction will await him. The Sky Demon Monarch and the Garvey Monarch aren't mortal enemies. After weighing the pros and cons, he still chose to join forces. It's a pity that you two chose to join forces. Accompanied by a sigh, the void twisted, and Yang Feng walked over step by step. "Who are you?" The Sky Demon Monarch looked at Yang Feng with vigilance in his eyes, and demonic light emerged around him. "I'm the one who will kill you." A torrent of time suddenly emerged, and Yang Feng blurred and appeared in front of the Garvey Monarch. He spread the fingers of a hand, and a devour black hole suddenly emerged and swept towards the Garvey Monarch. "Sky Demon Monarch, lend me a hand." When the Garvey Monarch sensed Yang Feng's eternal king rank fluctuations of power, his complexion changed dramatically, and a hair-raising eyeball appeared on his body and looked at the sky. A glowing smoke flew out of the hair-raising eyeball and intertwined with the devour black hole. The devour black hole trembled slightly, and then black light swept out and instantly swallowed the Garvey Monarch. The eyes of the Sky Demon Monarch flickered. Then he distorted, unfolded 12 pairs of sky wings, burned his demonic blood, and flew away. "If it was 100 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to keep you. But since I've already taken action, how can you still survive?" Yang Feng smiled indifferently and pointed with a finger, and a torrent of time swept towards the Sky Demon Monarch. Eroded by the torrent of time, the Sky Demon Monarch fell into a strange temporal disorder and was sent flying back inch by inch. "Break!" There was a sinister flash in the eyes of the Firmament Demonic Monarch, and he roared. Firmament Demonic light erupted from him and twisted, and the torrent of time collapsed. "Die!" A fearsome fist ran through the Sky Demon Monarch's body, and countless devour runes flickered and formed a devour black hole that instantly devoured the Sky Demon Monarch. The Sky Demon Monarch roared with a look of shock on his face. "No! How is this possible? How can this be? How can you be so strong?" Even though the Sky Demon King and King Garvey had both been severely injured, he still possessed terrifying power. It would not be difficult for him to escape from the other Eternal Kings. Now that he was suppressed by Yang Feng, it was simply appalling. Along with screams, the Firmament Demon Monarch was devoured by Yang Feng. How wonderful, devouring two Eternal Kings. My body and soul are constantly evolving. It feels so good to be getting stronger with every passing moment. Yang Feng felt a steady stream of power gushing out of his body, and his eyes flashed with a touch of excitement. Yang Feng's fleshly body is the Eternal King's fleshly body, which he reconstructed in the Dark Earth world using the Eternal God Sovereign as a template. When he evolved into the Eternal King, he underwent another earth-shattering transformation, making his physical body even more terrifying. In terms of soul force, Yang Feng may be slightly inferior to veteran Eternal Kings, but in terms of fleshly body, he surpasses the vast majority of Eternal Kings. Strange ripples flickered, and Yang Feng disappeared from where he stood. In the void, a 10,000-kilometer-tall ogre monarch with a horn on his head is fleeing frantically. Behind him, there's a shadow filled with despair and distortion. The shadow filled with despair and distortion is the Despair Monarch. Gray shadows of despair flew out of the Despair Monarch and swept towards the Ogre Monarch. When each shadow of despair brushed against the Ogre Monarch, black gas emerged from the Ogre Monarch. The Ogre Monarch trembled slightly, and a layer of his skin peeled off before he was able to force out the black gas of despair. A fierce expression on his face, the ogre monarch roared wildly. Despair monarch, are you crazy? Why are you chasing me? There is no enmity between us, so why are you chasing me? The whole universe should fall into the abyss of despair. Despair is the deepest darkness of the universe. Ha! Ogre monarch, despair. Struggle. Become a part of me. The despair monarch released strange and chaotic fluctuations, and shadows of despair continued to sweep towards the ogre monarch. The ogre monarch's face twisted, and he wanted to cry, but had no tears. This lunatic. He's crazy. The despair monarch is a freak born from the despair of 10 eternal monarchs in a war of monarchs. After absorbing the power of 10 eternal monarchs, he advanced to an eternal monarch in one fell swoop, with a rare treasure in the God Emperor Garden as the core. In myriad demons' holy heaven, with the other 4 eternal monarchs restricting him, the despair monarch restrained himself somewhat. As soon as he entered the battlefield of monarchs, the despair monarch fell into madness and chased after the ogre monarch, consuming the latter's power. Die! A torrent of time appeared in front of the ogre monarch. Yang Feng appeared abruptly, ran a fist through the ogre monarch's chest, and countless devour runes flickered and devoured the ogre monarch. Why is it always me? As soon as the ogre monarch fell into the devour black hole, his face twisted, and he roared wildly. Because you're the weakest. Yang Feng smiled coldly, glanced at the despair monarch, and then blurred into motion and retreated briskly. The despair monarch is far stronger than the ogre monarch. Although Yang Feng is confident that he could defeat the other party, but he isn't sure that he can kill the other party. Why are you running? Despair. The eyes of the despair monarch flashed with a shade of chaos. Then he smiled ferociously, and a dense crowd of shadows of despair swept towards Yang Feng. With a cold look in his eyes, Yang Feng waved his hand, and spatial portals appeared. The dense crowd of shadows of despair flew into the spatial portals, and the space-time distorted, unable to lock onto Yang Feng's true body. With a flash of light, Yang Feng disappeared and flew towards the distance. Ha ha ha! Ha! Despair! The despair monarch laughed wildly, turned into a stream of light, and chased after Yang Feng. This lunatic! Yang Feng glanced at the despair monarch with a cold look in his eyes, sneered, and continued to fly. In a starry sky, the 1,000,000-kilometer-tall, dark green holy monarch Azure Jew, covered in countless vines, is fighting a holy monarch dragon flood dragon, who has dragon horns, black scales, and is enveloped in black gas. Countless vines protruding from the Azure Jew holy monarch, each of which contains infinite power and is shrouded in various essences and laws, pierce through the sky and stab towards the holy monarch dragon flood dragon. Black gas surged from the holy monarch dragon flood dragon, entangled with the Azure Jew holy monarch's vines, and frantically corroded the holy monarch's vines. The 2 eternal kings are evenly matched in strength. As they fight, they are only consuming each other's power. Yang Feng turned into a ray of light, appeared near the 2 eternal kings, operated a secret method, and his aura disappeared. Die! Despair! Cry! Scream! The despair monarch appeared as well, and countless shadows of despair swept towards the Azure Jew holy monarch and the holy monarch dragon flood dragon. Join forces. The complexion of the Azure Jew holy monarch flickered, and he sent a thought towards the holy monarch dragon flood dragon. Okay. A dignified look in his eyes, the holy monarch dragon flood dragon agreed to the proposal of his old rival, and they joined forces to attack the despair monarch. The green vines smashed against the king of despair's body, and each strike was able to shatter some of the shadows of despair. In the wake of the poisonous mist sprayed by the holy monarch dragon flood dragon, everything was poisoned to death, and even the shadows of despair collapsed. Under the joint attack of the 2 eternal kings, the despair monarch laughed ferociously, and a large number of shadows of despair flew out of him and fought the holy monarch Azure Jew and the holy monarch dragon flood dragon. exchanging injuries for injuries. Die. A torrent of time suddenly appeared behind the holy monarch dragon flood dragon, and Yangfeng walked out of the torrent of time, smashed the holy monarch dragon flood dragon's resistance with a punch, and then entered his body. A shadow of despair slammed into the holy monarch dragon flood dragon, causing him to scream and then be swallowed by a black hole. Despair. The despair monarch laughed wildly, and countless shadows of despair barreled towards Yangfeng. I give up on this opportunity to become a god emperor. Sage King Green Ju's eyes flashed with determination. Rays of green godly light flashed as he burned the Eternal King's source energy. His body crumbled inch by inch as he turned into a ray of green light that tore through everything and fled out of the Ankalaman divine sky. What a pity! When Yangfeng saw this scene, regret flashed in his eyes, and a black hole appeared and devoured the shadows of despair around him. His figure fluttered, and he flew in another direction. After all, the holy monarch Azure Ju is not a seriously injured Eternal King. If Yangfeng wants to kill him, it will take him a lot of time and energy. Since the holy monarch Azure Ju has escaped, he is no longer his target. In the center of the Antalaman sacred heaven, light suddenly shone, and a divine garden filled with all kinds of mysteries and rare treasures appeared and radiated resplendent light. It appeared, the divine garden. That's the opportunity to become an eternal god emperor. The figures of the Eternal Kings fighting in various parts of the Ankalaman sacred heaven flickered as they turned into streams of light and flew in the direction of the divine emperor, divine garden. Yangfeng gave up on hunting the other Eternal Kings, turned into a stream of light, and flew towards the god emperor, divine garden. No, it's so painful. Stop. The despair monarch followed behind Yangfeng. All of a sudden, when he was hit by the light released by the divine garden, he screamed, and black smoke rose from his body. Chapter 1568. He's suffering a backlash because he doesn't have the divine emperor bone. A good chance. When Yangfeng saw this scene, his eyes flashed coldly, and he spread the fingers of a hand, and a pitch-black seal barrier appeared and blocked behind the despair monarch. The despair monarch fled frantically and then slammed into the pitch-black seal barrier. As if an insect stuck to a spider web, he was stuck, unable to budge. When the divine light released by the divine emperor, divine garden shone on the despair monarch, black smoke rose from his body, and he disintegrated inch by inch. The despair monarch is a top powerhouse among eternal monarchs, and he can contend against two eternal monarchs. However, under the divine light of the divine emperor, divine garden, he can't withstand a single blow. Shadows of despair emerged, and then were purified and turned into ashes. Let me send you on your way. Yangfeng's eyes flashed coldly, and he suddenly turned into a stream of light, appeared in front of the despair monarch, and sent a fist into the other party's body. A devour black hole emerged and devoured the despair monarch. You want to devour me? Good. Let's fuse together. The despair monarch's face twisted, his eyes flickered with chaotic light of despair, and his power burned wildly and turned into the purest despair force, which tore the devour black hole and entered Yangfeng's forehead. A vast and boundless power filled Yangfeng's body at once, containing endless despair. A face filled with despair grew out of Yangfeng's forehead. The eyes on the face are filled with despair, and tears of blood are flowing down, looking mournful and terrifying. I am Yangfeng, the despair monarch. I want the whole world to be dyed in the color of despair. Hee. A hair-raising laughter came from the face on Yangfeng's forehead. The voice is exactly the same as Yangfeng's. You want to assimilate me? What a pipe dream. Yangfeng's eyes flashed coldly, and he smiled frigidly, and devour runes appeared and frantically devoured the despair force in his limbs and bones. Yangfeng grabbed his forehead and tore off the face from his forehead. Streams of black mist flew out of Yang Feng and entered the face. Why? Why won't you fuse with me? As long as you become one with me, you will be able to completely obtain my power. Invincible. The face warped and transformed into a distorted energy body that let out a sinister roar. I need the purest power. You can maintain your own power and not uncontrollable power. Yang Feng looked at the core of the despair monarch and said with a cold smile, "Besides, even without relying on you, I am already invincible." Yang Feng crushed the distorted despair monarch, and a devour rune emerged and devoured the despair monarch's origin force. After squashing the despair monarch, Yang Feng flew straight towards the god Emperor Divine Garden. Hand over the divine Emperor bone, otherwise die. An eternal monarch made of countless bones suddenly flew out of the void and extended a claw towards Yang Feng. In the center of the bone claw, a dead world filled with bones emerged. Gray death chi gushed out of the dead world, turned into chains, and shot towards Yang Feng. You dare to attack me? Thank you for courting death and becoming a stepping stone for me to advance to the God Emperor realm. Yang Feng smiled frigidly, countless runes shone, and he slammed a fist into the dead world filled with bones. A devour black hole appeared and blasted the dead world to pieces, and then radiated devour black light and devoured the dead world. After smashing the dead world with a strike, Yang Feng teleported, appeared in front of the Bones Monarch, and slammed a fist into the Bones Monarch, smashing it into pieces. A devour black hole appeared and devoured the Bones Monarch. No, how is this possible? You just advanced to the Eternal Monarch realm. How can you be so strong? A ferocious expression on his face, the Bones Monarch roared and struggled inside the devour black hole. After a dozen-plus breaths of time, it was completely eroded by devour light and turned into dust that dissipated with the wind. So strong. How can that Yang Feng be so strong? When the other Eternal Monarchs saw Yang Feng devour the Bones Monarch, they inhaled a breath of cold air, and their eyes shimmered with a dignified shade. Although the Bones Monarch is not a top powerhouse among Eternal Monarchs, but while it is easy to defeat him, but it is very difficult for other Eternal Monarchs to kill him. For Yang Feng to be able to insta-kill the Bones Monarch is simply incredible. Yang Feng, Azure True Extreme Monarch, isn't that the young master of your Azure Temple? When did he become so strong? Tens of thousands of light years away, the handsome sky spirit holy monarch with 13 halos behind him and short black hair suddenly spoke with a smile. A complicated look in his eyes, the Azure True Extreme Monarch said with a bitter smile, "I just entered closed-door cultivation once, yet he has already surpassed me. I really didn't expect that an existence from a lower universe could reach this step. In Azure Temple, whether it is the Holy Lord or the Young Master, they are not worth mentioning in the eyes of an Eternal Monarch like the Azure True Extreme Monarch. Apart from practicing cultivation and enjoying himself, he doesn't pay attention to these trifles. The Azure True Extreme Monarch didn't expect that in less than 10,000 years, Yang Feng, the ant-like young master of Azure Temple in his eyes, has already advanced to the Eternal Monarch realm. Not only that, but Yang Feng is also far stronger than him. Envy flashed in the eyes of the sky spirit holy monarch, and he sighed faintly. He isn't affected by the divine light of the God Emperor Divine Garden. It seems that he has obtained the God Emperor bone. What a profound destiny! How enviable! To enter the God Emperor Divine Garden, one must have the God Emperor bone. Without the God Emperor bone, it is impossible to resist the divine light released by the God Emperor Divine Garden. In order to advance to the Eternal Monarch realm, Yang Feng has consumed all his God Emperor bones. Along the way, he killed several Eternal Monarchs and obtained 2 God Emperor bones. Yang Feng, I am the Azure True Extreme Monarch. Can you give me a piece of the God Emperor bone? I can give you the Azure Temple in exchange. As long as you give me a piece of God Emperor bone, the Azure Temple will be yours. Enigmatic light flashed in the eyes of the azure true extreme monarch, and he crossed countless light years and transmitted his voice to Yangfeng. Yangfeng responded flatly, I am determined to obtain the position of the eternal monarch. Apart from this, everything else is not worth mentioning. Once Yangfeng advances to the eternal monarch, he will become the master of this universe and control everything in it. The trifling azure temple is not worth mentioning. The azure true monarch smiled bitterly, a complicated look in his eyes. He calmly slashed at the periphery of the divine emperor light and looked in the direction of the divine emperor divine garden. With a flash of light, Yangfeng arrived at the periphery of the god emperor divine garden. In the periphery of the god emperor divine garden, there stand two eternal monarchs. One eternal monarch is covered in surging purple flames, which look like they can burn time, fate, and everything else. This is the purple flame monarch. The other eternal king was as big as a world. His entire body was enveloped in eternal divine light, and his body was the god kingdom. Auras far beyond that of other eternal monarchs of the same rank emerged from the purple flame monarch and the god monarch, and spread in all directions. In this era, only the three of us can reach this place. Hand over your god emperor bones. Otherwise die. I, the purple flame monarch, am the master of this universe. Eyes flashing with purple flames, the purple flame monarch looked at Yangfeng and the god monarch and uttered coldly. A cold ray flashed in the god monarch's eyes, and he uttered frigidly, What an arrogant fellow! Yangfeng, how about we join forces and kill him? Yangfeng's eyes flickered, and he uttered with a smile, Okay. With a wave of the god monarch's hand, a scepter appeared, and a gold divine country emerged from his body and radiated dazzling light. In an instant, the gold divine country expanded rapidly and enveloped the purple flame monarch and Yangfeng. Gold laws gushed out of the divine country and formed chains that shot towards the purple flame monarch. A swarm of eternal angels emerged and formed an angel legion that attacked the purple flame monarch. With a wave of his hand, purple flames tore through the sky and swept towards the eternal angels. In the wake of the purple flames, countless eternal angels were turned into ashes. The god king barked, Yangfeng, lend me a hand. Yangfeng smiled indifferently, stood quietly in place, and looked at the god monarch and the purple flame monarch with a derisive expression. A look of anger on his face, the god monarch barked, Yangfeng, what are you doing? Why aren't you stepping in? Do you want to see me and the purple flame monarch suffer together? Yangfeng uttered with a smile, Your acting is really good. Unfortunately, there is no killing intent in the fight between you. None of the attacks involved origin energy. In particular, your killing intent is locked on me. I'm curious, why do the two of you have killing intent towards me? That's because you're too dangerous. Yangfeng, you have just advanced to an eternal king, yet you can already rival veteran eternal kings. Moreover, the essence you cultivate is the most dangerous essence of devour. You have already devoured several eternal kings. If you are allowed to refine their origin, I'm afraid that no one in the eternal world will be your opponent. Therefore, you must die. A cold look in his eyes, the purple flame monarch took a step, an endless purple flame soared and formed a purple flame giant covered in surging purple flames, and the purple flame monarch sent a fist barreling towards Yangfeng. Chapter 1569. Divine Country Sanction. A cold look in his eyes, the God King pointed at Yangfeng. Inside the divine country, countless gods and divine countries emerged. Countless gods, holy spirits, and petitioners prayed, and all their power was absorbed by the divine country. A gold divine light flew out of the divine country, shone on Yangfeng, and suppressed him like a mountain. Purple Flame Monarch, your guess is correct. Unfortunately, you're a step too slow. Yangfeng smiled indifferently and took a step forward. His body twisted, and the gold light collapsed and shattered in an instant. He sent a fist flying towards the giant shrouded in purple flames. A torrent of time, a spatial portal, a power star, a devour black hole, and a river of fate appeared, merged into one, and blasted into the giant shrouded in purple flames. The giant collapsed and was devoured by Yang Feng's fist in an instant. In an instant, as if teleporting, Yang Feng appeared in front of the purple flame monarch, slammed his fist into the purple flame monarch, and blasted him into pieces. A devour black hole appeared, devoured the purple flame monarch, who has turned into countless purple flames, and frantically absorbed his eternal monarch origin. His face twisted, an incredulous look on his face. The purple flame monarch roared. "How is this possible? How can you be so strong? Impossible." The purple flame monarch has lived for 100 billion years after advancing to an eternal monarch. He is one of the oldest eternal monarchs in the universe. Among eternal monarchs, he is one of the strongest. He never imagined that he would be killed by Yang Feng with a punch. "My foundation is more solid than yours, and I have devoured more than 5 eternal monarchs. I have completely refined their power. Purple flame monarch, how can you be my opponent? Rest in peace. I will advance to an eternal God Emperor." Yang Feng smiled coldly, then clasped the fingers of a hand, shattered the purple flame monarch's flames, and frantically devoured the purple flame monarch's eternal origin. "Next, it's your turn." Killing intent flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, and he looked at the God King. "Go, stop him." A chill ran down the God King's spine, and he waved his hand and barked. Inside the divine country, a swarm of gods and eternal angels flew towards Yang Feng like a tide and cast various offensive divine spells barreling towards him. "It's no use." Countless runes flickered, and Yang Feng turned into a devour black hole that can devour everything, swept towards the gods and eternal angels, and instantly devoured them and turned them into dust. "Explode." The eyes of the God King shimmered ferociously, and he bellowed. Countless mysterious runes appeared in the divine country, shone, and exploded in an instant. The storm formed from divine force, accumulated for hundreds of billions of years, engulfed Yang Feng, and the space collapsed. A terrifying energy storm wreaked havoc outside the God Emperor Divine Garden. Dying in the fearsome energy storm, a huge hand reached out, grabbed the God King, and squeezed hard. In a flash, the weakened God King exploded. A devouring black hole appeared and devoured the godly monarch who had been crushed. The purple flame monarch and the God King are not his opponents. Even the purple flame king and the God King are no match for him. How powerful! How powerful! Seeing this scene, the eyes of the eternal monarchs shimmered with apprehension. But no one dared to approach the God Emperor Divine Garden. In the center of the God Emperor Divine Garden, a golden lotus flower bloomed, and there's a pool of golden water inside the golden lotus flower. Golden light flew out of the pool and shone on Yang Feng. Divine Emperor Bones appeared inside Yang Feng, and he let the golden light shine on him. When the golden light shone on Yang Feng, it emitted amiable fluctuations, twisted, and formed a golden staircase. As soon as Yang Feng set foot on the golden stairs shrank slightly, and then Yang Feng was drawn into the golden pool. The God Emperor Divine Garden flickered with light, and then disappeared from this universe. It's over. In this era, Yang Feng obtained the opportunity to advance to an eternal God Emperor. However, although he obtained the opportunity, but he may not be able to advance to an eternal God Emperor. When the eternal monarchs saw Yang Feng enter the God Emperor Divine Garden, their eyes shimmered with jealousy, and they sighed faintly, turned into streams of light, and disappeared. In the golden pool, a dim light shone, and a queer existence emitting distorted light slowly emerged, looked at Yang Feng, and uttered with a smile, "I didn't expect that the winner this time would be you, an other universe walker from another universe." Shocked, Yang Feng's body tensed up, his thoughts revolved lightning fast. and he uttered slowly, "You are His Majesty, the God Emperor." The God Emperor uttered flatly, "Don't be nervous. I'm really dead. This is just a remnant phenomenon. In Earth's terms, it's just an obsession. Yang Feng, your foundation is very solid. Your fleshly body is perfect, and you are even slightly better than me at the time. You are fully capable of inheriting all my power and advancing to an eternal God Emperor. However, if you want to inherit my power, you must take revenge for me in the future. You have to kill my enemy. If you promise me, I will give you all of my remaining power. If you don't agree, you can pick 3 fruits in my God Emperor Divine Garden and then leave." The God Emperor uttered with a smile. Yang Feng pondered for a while and then asked curiously, "What level of powerhouse is your enemy?" "He is also an eternal God Emperor. At the time, he was a bit stronger than me. I made a mistake, and he seized the opportunity to seriously injure me. As a result, I died and turned into this universe. By the way, if you don't inherit my power, in this universe, you have no chance to advance to an eternal God Emperor because of the lack of resources. In this universe, 95% of the resources are concentrated in the God Emperor Divine Garden." The God Emperor uttered with a faint smile. Yang Feng weighed it over and over again, and then said decisively, "Okay, I promise you, when I'm stronger than your enemies, I'll avenge you. A smart choice. Come on, accept my remaining power. Become the new eternal God Emperor." With a flash of light, the golden pool water poured into Yang Feng's body and nourished his fleshly body and soul. Countless mysterious runes emerged. Yang Feng seems to be devouring existences surpassing the eternal God Emperor at all times, and his body and soul are transforming crazily. Time elapsed, and 100 years passed in the blink of an eye. In the eternal world, a vast and fearsome aura suddenly awakened and spread throughout the eternal world, exuding a terrifying aura that made people shudder. This is an eternal God Emperor. An eternal God Emperor fluctuation. He succeeded. He advanced to an eternal God Emperor. When Holy Lord Azure Lord sensed the terrifying aura, he shuddered and knelt on the ground involuntarily, unable to control his power. An eternal God Emperor. Yang Feng advanced to an eternal God Emperor. In the eternal world, all the intelligent life forms trembled and knelt on the ground when they were awakened by the terrifying aura. The eternal God Emperor was a supreme existence in a great cosmos. Even an eternal king would not be able to resist an eternal God Emperor. In the God Emperor Divine Garden, Yang Feng slowly opened his eyes, and wisps of fearsome aura slowly spread from him. So this is the power of an eternal God Emperor. In this universe, as long as I want to do something, there is nothing I can't do. With a thought from Yang Feng, all the information in the universe is easily under his control, and he can easily trace the origins of the eternal monarchs. In their universe, eternal God Emperors are omniscient and omnipotent. As long as there is a bit of true spirit, they can resurrect the dead. With a thought, they can create a small universe. There is no end to evolution. But after I advance to an eternal God Emperor, there are not many existences that can threaten my life. I can finally slow down and appreciate the other wonders of the universe. With a thought, Yang Feng's figure blurred, and he crossed hundreds of millions of light years and arrived in the harem of the Devour Dynasty. "Your Majesty, you're back. Wu Meiying, Shiryu, Mykelia, Zero, Eunice, Regina, Zhou Ruoling, Zhou Romulage, Gleistar, Faldina, Carolina, Isramia, Shinji, Violet, Shadow, and other beautiful women who followed Yang Feng all came up to greet him with joy in their beautiful eyes. "I'm back. I will accompany you until eternity." Yang Feng looked at the elegant and refined Shi Shui, who has already advanced to the 7th firmament eternal realm, and Zero, who is standing next to Shi Shui. With a gentle smile, he stepped forward, embraced the charming beauties, and enjoyed their enchanting charm. Time elapsed, and 100,000 years passed in the blink of an eye. In the void, inside a round level, 9 stronghold. Are you ready? Let's start a new journey. Sitting in the seat of honor, Yang Feng looked down and saw that there are beautiful women from the universe. They are all dressed in beautiful military uniforms. Shi Shui and the others, who are dressed in officer uniforms, are sitting in command rooms. We're ready. A pleasant voice came from the stronghold. Then let's go. The round level, 9 stronghold shone, fired a black ray, cut open the multiverse wall, and turned into a stream of light that pierced through the multiverse wall. That you're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.